What's up, everybody? It's me, Jeremy. You guys are watching Inside the Coils. Tonight, we've got Joel from Prismatic Reptiles. My voice sucks tonight. I obviously cannot speak properly. So thankfully, I've got a whole band of awesome co-hosts to help limp me through tonight because my voice was shot after yesterday's show. Mix that with being under the weather slightly, and it just makes for a terrible sounding voice. As I was giving John a whole bunch of crap, I now actually sound like Batman after our funny ha-has of who's Batman and who's Robin. So I sound like Batman, but apparently John's Batman. I don't know. But anyway, let's go ahead and bring out the awesome co-host, and then we'll bring out Joel. So what up, Robin? How you doing, bro?
I'm Batman.
Dude, I don't know. I think I got the voice going a little bit better. I don't know.
I'll be Superman.
Okay, that works. Don't fucking make me laugh. I do have to say though, I should have. If I was thinking about it, I should have uploaded Scotty's pictures that he posted. I don't know if I can find them. I'll bring everybody out, and then I'll see if I can't find them quick and show them off on the phone once. But we got Mr. Soldentino here with
Soldentino.
Forge.
Soldentino. Get you sold, baby. Good.
Better put that money down. Put that money down, or it's gonna get sold.
No deposit, no sale.
$5
First come, first serve.
20.
20.
We got our brother Chris Shelley from BNS. He's actually going to be here tonight, so that way him and Joel can speak the language, and none of us will understand a damn thing that they're saying. But we'll sit here and smile and nod.
Oh, it's all the same in a nutshell. It's all good.
And then we've got the Bang Daddy himself.
Oh, there he is.
He did show up.
What up, nerds?
Good to see you.
What's going on?
And then we've got our guest for tonight, Joel from Prismatic Reptiles. What's up, Joel?
What's up,
Joel?
Howdy.
All right, let me see if I can't find this picture here quick. Scotty. Is Scotty even in the chat yet? Oops, Scotty. It'd be easier if Scotty would just resend it, but he's probably not in the chat yet. I don't think I saw him comment.
What if Matt's in the chat?
There he is.
More Osman. Nice. Who we got there? Who we repping? Oh.
Gotta support my group, brother.
Is that your brand, Joel?
No, I don't even know who made these shirts, but they're fucking awesome.
Sweet, yeah, no, I dig it. I like it.
All right,
Nice.
I've got the picture Scotty made pulled up on my phone, so I'm gonna make myself big here once, and we're gonna give
easy. Do that on your own
Scotty
time.
credit for his work well done here. We've got Mr. Shelley as the Riddler.
The Riddler. Hey, you quiet down back there, Daisy.
We've got Nate as Mr. Freeze.
Yes.
Da, da, da.
Pays for it.
Nate looks like such a gangster in his fucking mugshot.
Hell yeah. That's gangster.
Who's that?
And then you've got the dynamic trio.
Oh my god.
Hold on, maybe it'll.
Yes.
John Stuffin.
Based on that picture, it appears German.
That was so funny, isn't it? Dad?
And then
Scotty made all them.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one.
He's working on it then. He's got you a Super Grover.
Nice.
Anyway, all right. So, in case anybody's wondering, what in the hell brought all of that on? I made a smart ass comment. I don't even know what the hell we were even talking about. But I said on how John's the Robin to my Batman, and then it just kind of blew up from there to this.
It doesn't take much to get lost in our group chat.
No, it does not. No. And if you don't catch it soon enough, you're really lost because the next thing you know, you look and you're 100 messages behind, and that's Facebook going back to read it.
Sometimes.
But let's say hi to some folks. We got Tara Voodoo Doll Royals. What's up, Tara? Channel
Tara?
member as well. James Perry, Janice Exotics. What's going on? Good to see you. Keith,
Silent Assassin.
what's going on, brother?
He's on the West Coast.
PK, what's going on? Good to see you.
Down in sunny Florida. What's that? Oh no, Will.
I still like that one.
Poor Will.
PK, still praying for you and the family. Hope everything's going good, though.
Yeah, man.
Let's see here. Endless Morse, what's going on? Good to see you. Vance, Blue Zombie, what's going on?
Big Vance.
Mako Morph, what's going on?
That's Patrick. Daddy.
Mr. Watts Minor, what's going on, Phil?
Minor, what's up? I met a couple new people this weekend.
Pocket Balls.
Saw Mike this morning. What's up, Mike?
Let's see here. Jamie, another channel member, and
Oh, I bet
also
Jamie.
the owner and of some new ball pythons after yesterday. And also, I just want to make a slight, little acknowledgement here. He's in the TSK now, so I'm just saying.
Sweet. He's on the right side.
Also in the Trojan.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about that.
Man.
I'll say
We were
Jamie
talking
got
about
some nice stuff yesterday. He got some nice stuff. Mel, what's going on, Mel? Good to see you. Your ass is going to be up here soon before you know it.
Yeah. Next month, we're getting that meat.
You like that one?
Dalton, what's going on? If
Dalton.
anybody missed Dalton's episode, go back and check that out because it was very, very good episode. Greatly enjoyed
I can't
it.
wait to have him on in a year and revisit.
Dude, it'll be neat to see him where he's at a year under his belt.
Nickname him Youngblood.
Grant, what's going on? New channel member. Thank you very much for the
Grant.
support, man. Great to see you. Let's see here. No problem, Grant. No problem, Grant. Glad I could help. This guy, I gotta say, this guy ventured all the way from Jersey to Morgantown yesterday. I thought he was lost.
Whoa.
He had family things to do. He didn't come just to see us. Let's be real.
Chris, I was trying to make this feel special here.
Oh,
Damn
sorry.
Is that what he
It was
told
great.
you?
It was great to see him, though.
Way not to make you feel special there, Chris.
He told me he just wanted to come see a good carpet python.
And I
I'm gonna
feel
wish
Oh
my wife a
man,
happy birthday again. My beautiful wife.
man, she is so lucky.
She is. Look at that stud.
such a lucky girl.
Mhm.
Look at that face.
I don't wonder when she gets back.
I
wonder when she gets back during tax time for him.
Yeah, she's old, right?
Exotic
What's
Dream
up,
Chase.
dude?
What's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Greg, good to see you. Another
Yo,
channel
Greg.
member and channel sponsor.
Saw
Good to
him
see you.
today too.
Ledka, what's going on?
Logan.
My buddy
Greg,
just
what's
bought a
up, dude?
snake from
Sorry
them.
for all the confusion, man. But
Who
yeah,
the
good
fuck
to
is
see you in the
Greg?
chat tonight. Channel member as well. My wife just texted me about something. Oh.
You're in
Hunter's
trouble.
in a really ordinary mood here, and he's mastered the art of escaping out of his crib, even though it's dropped to the lowest setting. He's escaped 4 times so far within the last 10 minutes.
That's what
Sucks to be
closets
my
are
wife
for.
at the moment.
Start locking doors.
Oh,
what
dude, that's the
closets
thing.
are
That,
for.
well, he understands how to unlock them and open them all at the same time.
I hope.
Turn the lock around.
We
What I
could
hope
do
to be
that.
outside.
That's more work, though. That's more work.
Wah.
Jamie says,
Yeah,
show was awesome. Appreciate all the help, John and Jeremy. And I'm wearing my new shirt because it makes me feel special.
Yes.
Man. So we're not going to go and make Joel go through the whole spiel of who he is and everything. If you guys want to know who Joel is, go back and watch the other live that we had Joel on. I guess it was 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. Go back and watch that because your brain will get just blown away from that live, to say the least. That was an outstanding live. I think we all thoroughly enjoyed that one. But let me go ahead and run the first channel sponsor, and then we will get the show rolling, guys. As soon as I can find it. Here we go.
Gettysburg Reptile Expo LLC is one of the premier shows of the Northeast. Located at the All-Star Event Complex in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, it's a 45,000 square foot venue that houses 270 plus tables, 125 plus breeders, with an amazing selection of snakes, lizards, geckos, turtles, amphibians, and invertebrates. Doesn't matter if you're a breeder looking for that next high-end piece to your project or a pet owner looking for your next scaly friend. Stop it off the Sea Serpents there to meet all of your racking and incubator needs. The show dates for 2025 are March 29th, July 19th, and November 8th. So make sure you stop out, and I will see you at Gettysburg Reptile Expo LLC.
Gettysburg's going to be here before we know it, everybody. I'm excited.
Oh, hell yeah.
We don't have a whole hell of a lot of anything to sell. I'm actually I might need to, I have 2 tables, and I don't even think I'm going to need to.
John,
So, I mean, you're trying to see if...
He had his shot yesterday. I sold freaking 28 snakes off $20 a piece.
I didn't feel like it
bought some
I
inventory.
didn't eat that much of your bird food. I mean, I don't go to the sanctuary that often.
Oh,
You would have gave me it for 15 a piece, man.
I would have hooked you up, man. You could have had it for nothing. You didn't say a word.
Well,
Right,
I mean,
so-
I guess it's a good problem to have, but I mean, I might have to be finding somebody to share a table with for one show.
You might be able to get rid of it. Somebody might go pick it up.
Batman would never have these problems.
Or just get
Put
more
it out
snakes.
there.
Just saying.
There you go.
All right, Jared, we'll talk.
There you go.
We'll talk.
So I gotta admit, I didn't get a chance to see the last episode,
You know
so
what? Cut him off. Get
I'm
rid of him.
horrible.
Get rid of him.
I will do this for you right now.
wow.
Yeah. there
All
you
right,
go.
now.
All right. Much
So-
better. Much better.
Spanish.
He doesn't have a hat on.
I just need
That's messed up.
the 2-minute just quick elevator pitch, just the background and what just turned you on, just so I know a little bit more about you.
He breeds all cobras.
What's up, Jessica? Ah, sweet. King Cobras, hopefully.
That's it.
Yeah. So I'm breeding mostly Mexican and Montane king snakes, but I do old world rat snakes. I do new world rat snakes. I do some Bairds and Snubbox and stuff like that. Some Pitawophis. I do all ones, which I keep very quiet, and I do it all full time. I started. I quit my job in 2020, so I've been doing this full time since then. And dates all the way back to 2011, I think, is when I started getting snakes. I started out as a lizard breeder originally, so my logo has a collared lizard on it, and that's people are always confused about why I have a collared lizard on there. And I thought about rebranding last year and putting a snake on it. I was like, no, that's kind of I like how it looks, and collards are one of my favorite animals. So screw it. So diurnal lizards were how I started with horned lizards as well. That was one of my specialties, and panther chameleons. But snakes are just way easier, and I mean the bottom line on a snake is it's a no-brainer versus a diurnal lizard that you've put $2,000 worth of effort in to sell it for $350 or something like that. So yeah, that's the way it is.
Nice. All right. Fun. Very cool. And where are you? Where are you located at?
I'm in Idaho.
Idaho. Okay.
You know Jason Nelson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine, and he's
Cool.
he's 4 hours directly south of me. So
Man, that could be dangerous.
I know.
Holy crap, man! Yeah, I have one animal from him, and great animal, but some of the stuff he has is it's mind blowing, man. I could spend a whole day just opening up tubs there, man.
Yep. Have you watched any of the Dave Kaufman episodes that he's done there at?
Yep,
at
every
Jason's?
single one of them. Yeah, I'm not up to date on his YouTube channel that he does with the other guy, Just their show. I watched a few of them and they're really good, but there's just so much on, man, that it all runs together. It's crazy.
He's got a fishing channel and like a food channel, or he's got so much going on. It's
there's just so much other content too, man. It's just all crazy running together.
Yeah, for sure. But Jason's the fucking OG.
Oh yeah.
Like he goes way farther back than most colubrid breeders, and he knows all the tips, tricks, secrets. I mean, and there is no better pit person, if you ask me, in the entire world. Like he's got it going on. So Pituophis is gopher snakes, bull snakes, pine snakes, all that stuff. I can't think of anybody in the world who's got a bigger, better, or more diverse collection of that stuff.
Yeah, no. The only person that I think can compare is like TSK and Summer, but I don't even think they have the diversity. I think they just have numbers, nothing near the diversity that Jason has, because he's got all kinds of other stuff too. Doesn't he do like the Mountain Kings, the gray bands and stuff like that?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Some of them are wild too, man. Have you ever worked with those?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He and I did a long blotched project where we took the long blotched gray banded king snake. So
that's more orange, right?
Yeah. So there's just a huge long nuchal blotch. The neck blotch just goes, some of them all the way down. Pretty damn close. It's all the way down, and then there's like 2 bands that break it up, and then the whole rest of the way. So he and I did a project with those. And we were keeping it kind of under wraps, but he's taken it farther than I have already been able to do it. And so, yeah, I bred a couple of his females to my ghosts, which I have an anery. Well, I think the male was an anery and a hypo. So he was a visual ghost. So we made double heads. The long blotch thing is like a polymorphic sort of thing. Like it's not really recessive.
Explain that briefly kind of to people here, because like I know guys that probably in our group right here probably understand like what that means, but even with just ball pythons, but a lot of people don't. I don't think understand it. How do you take a banded animal and make it striped? What's that process?
Yeah, that's a good question. As far as I know, the long blotch lineage was just, and this funny enough, I actually had a River Road this year hatch out with a long neck stripe that was like maybe like 5, the equivalent of what would have been like 5 or 6 bands. And so that's kind of how you start, right? You're like, oh, here's an idea. Longer neck blotch on this one, longer neck blotch on that one. Or even if you don't have a female or male to go with the one, then you're like, well, let's just breed it and see if I get more of that. And then
put it on the shelf.
Yep. You keep line breeding. And with a lot of these snakes, like I mentioned in the last episode, outcrossing with king snakes that live in the same area isn't as important as a lot of snakes that are far flung and they go, like I think Pituophis are one, and there are some snakes that travel longer distances, but Lamprepeltis just stay in the same spot pretty much. So they're all inbred anyway, really. Like it sounds bad, but it's just the reality. Like they, you recapture the same ones year after year. If you watch any field herping videos, you see people flipping the same tin, finding the same snakes. So that
especially if it's like a locality, because they're going back to that same spot every year.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, you just do more. You breed the longest blotch to the longest blotched animal, and then the weird thing is it kind of ends up acting incomplete dominant. That's how. So the long blotch thing is sort of that way. If you breed it to a normal. So a normal gray banded king snake just has triads, right? Just ringed animal, basically. And the first time you breed a long blotch to a normal, you might get, an inch of a longer blotch on the neck, or a saddle is really what you'd call it. And then, you bring that back. Usually you breed like the baby to the parent, and then you can get it a little bit bigger. So basically it acts incomplete dominant, even though it's really polygenic.
Right, like a visual head almost.
Yeah, exactly. And then sometimes you get lucky and that almost acts like a super when you breed 2 really nice ones to each other. Then you get something that's like really spectacular, and it makes you feel like, oh man, it's like almost a super form. And sometimes when you breed that, it almost acts like one too. So polygenics are weird. Like the zebra pyro is one of those too. The zebra pyro basically makes really wide white bands, wide black bands, and a little less red. And they can go either way. Like they're super white not a lot of black, not a lot of red, or they can go super black. And it's the same sort of thing. And we didn't really realize what was going on with that until more people got them, because it was just one guy producing them up in the Sierra Nevadas. And so there's been a lot of controversy about like, oh, how is that passed down? Because, I think I mentioned this in the last episode, but pretty much everything in king snakes is recessive. There's not, incomplete dominants are just, if you look at like Florida kings or something like that, maybe, but like Mexicana and Montane kings, I can't think of anything incomplete dominant. So when you see something that acts that way, it's like, what the hell's going on here? That doesn't sound right. It's the same with corn snakes. When there's something incomplete in corn snakes, like Tessera, that brought a whole bunch of issues because people are like, well, why is this acting this way? Because everything in corn snakes pretty much is recessive.
That kind of boggles my mind just thinking of that.
Yeah.
Like my head's so stuck on the ball python end, and
Yeah.
there's very few morphs with the carpets, but still, the carpets are kind of a mystery with how some of that stuff kind of works. Some of it they think is recessive, and some of it isn't. But it's hard to imagine everything being recessive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Pituophis, they're the same way.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think, I'm pretty sure there isn't any really, co-dominant trait except for, I guess
Forks.
maybe the forks is, yeah.
Yep.
I was going to
That's
say
the only
forks and the
thing.
gophers.
Yep.
So when you're breeding something that's basically all recessives, like, with the Pituophis and everything, you're kind of just taking a shot in the dark. Just say you're using a brand new animal that says wild caught. All right. You're kind of taking a shot in the dark, essentially, that this might have this or that in it, or what?
Not necessarily a wild caught, right? No.
Yeah.
No, it's wild caught would just be maybe 2 outcross blood, but you're not really gonna be looking for another recessive than that. For instance, when I got mine, I got one was a visual albino white sided, and one was just a hypo. And they were supposed to be heterozygous for a few things, and I ended up breeding them and proving them out to be 100% for some other things. So that's kind of where that's where you're at with it. There's no tests yet for them, but I think they're starting to work on some tests for them as well.
Okay.
What's up, Mike? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like even with a ball python that was wild caught, you could maybe hope that there's a het somewhere, because there's just so much that comes out of Africa. You see an ultramel, or you see new animals all the time. You're like, dude, that's a tri-stripe. I don't know why you're acting like it's something new, because we've had several wild caught bananas or several wild caught pieds or whatever. You'd be more likely to find something like that. If you had a wild caught bull, and like Chris says, you're just basically outcrossing. If it's wild caught, it is normal het for 0.
Okay.
9 times out of 10, unless it's an area that produces axanthics or something like that, and you just know kind of floating around in that region, which does happen in colubrids. There's some hypos in West Texas, I guess, here and there, but
well, that's how probably Stillwater got its name, right?
Yeah.
Because in that area, the Miami axanthic, I would assume that's how they got their names, because there's certain pockets of localities that produce the axanthics and produce the hypos and whatnot.
Yeah, I still want to know about how Miami got its name, since there's no bulls down there. I think it had to have been a breeder, right?
No, I'm pretty sure there's a Miami in Illinois.
Oh, okay.
In one of them states, there's a Miami. Yeah, because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, how does that happen? And then we looked it up. My wife looked it up, and
okay. And then on Morph Market, they call Balaam Omaha, which I had to find, because I just posted my first clutch of bulls there. And so I was asking Jason, how do I differentiate? And it's funny because Morph Market, I don't know about you guys, for ball pythons, they don't do shit for your listings. But with colubrids, they're real particular.
Mm-hmm.
I had an ultramel clutch of corns, and so with ultramel in corn snakes, they have to either be het, ultramel, or amelanistic. And I don't really give a shit when I list them. I'm like, dude, it's from an ultramel, it's het ultramel, whatever. I don't have time with 18 snakes from one clutch to list either or, blah blah blah. So Morph Market's like, hey, we've had several complaints about this ad. It doesn't say het for this and or either or that. And I'm like, bro, nobody cares. It doesn't add any value. Like, if you know it's Ultramel and if you know enough about it, then you know it's also probably Amel, right? So I think it's so every time Morph Market comes after me for an ad, I'm like, what about this Balam and Omaha shit? Why don't you get that figured out? So every time I respond to it's funny. I'm like, okay, I fixed the ad. First of all, it would be nice if you would let me know that you inactivated all the ads that you had issues with. I'm glad I saw the little green dot disappeared, because otherwise I think I'm selling something that's not even on the market anymore. But every time I respond, they don't hit me back, and I'm like, cool, good to know. Because like Pyros, the Arizona Mountain Kings, none of that stuff is correct on Morph Market yet. All of the recessives are basically wrong. So it's funny. It's like they take issue with such dumb little things, and then it's like, hey, this whole species has no genes mapped. So why don't we talk about that? And they're like, oh yeah, just send us all the info. So I have, and nothing happens. So
they just gotta be educated more.
Yeah,
that's a shame.
I think
That's all it is.
It's a lot of ball python breeders.
But it's just funny that they come after like a colubrid person about something stupid like that when you literally see stuff that is so wrong on ball python ads. You're like, that is not any of the genes you're saying that it is.
There's probably so many ball python ads are flagging.
Here's the thing.
Some of
here's
it's
the
crazy.
thing, though. Hey, Joel. Here's the thing. Keep in mind, it's not actually Morph Market. It is your fellow colubrid breeders.
I know. Oh, I know.
Trust me when I tell you.
You're right.
You're getting flagged by those colubrid breeders.
You're right. These little bitches. I know.
Yeah, Morph Market doesn't really scan anything. It's everybody else reporting everything.
Yeah,
I know. It's like, I wish, just tell me who it is, and I'll be like, I know how Ultramel works, okay? But I just don't.
And they probably do as well, but they're just busting your balls because they want to do it.
Yep, exactly. I'm like, dude, it's a $25 snake, no matter how many heads it has. Like.
Yeah. So you work with the Balam?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Have you, not to get off track on it, but have you noticed have you made snows with it yet, with the Balam?
I haven't. Nope.
Okay. All right. I'm just curious what your outlook is on it. I think it throws a little bit more yellows to them.
That's what my understanding is, yeah.
Okay. All right.
So the first clutch I made was 2 years ago, maybe? Yeah, I think it's been 2 years. And I sold those all at shows or like off Instagram or whatever. They didn't even make it to Morph Market. So this year was my first year even posting them. And so I used Jason's help a little bit. I definitely messed up on one that was axanthic that I couldn't tell because it was also patternless and it was white-sided. Pretty hard to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and you've got what, 5 recessives, right? Pretty much. And when you're getting layering of each one, and you haven't seen necessarily all of them, like I'm not claiming to be an expert by any means. So it was my first year really seeing a good number of them. Luckily I had a friend who was like, that's way cheaper than it should be because it's axanthic. I was like, oh, well, it's a female too, so I'm going to keep it because I would like to see more of that.
Yeah, it's tough once you hit the snow and then either patternless or white-sided on top of that snow. Yeah. It's hard to go the other way. Then, like, it's hard to see if the hypo's in there, and then it can get tough at that point in time. You have a complete white snake, but then after a year, then yellows start to come in. So then you'll wonder if the hypo was in there, or do the true blizzards, are they still bringing in a little bit of yellow? So I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think shed testing with bull snakes could be really helpful, honestly.
Definitely. Oh yeah, for sure. I'll have to get on Charlie about that.
What do you have for?
I'll have the sheds to send them. What's that?
What do you have for colubrids? Just the sex testing?
Yeah, I believe it's just a sex test for now.
Can Charlie? And this is something I should just ask Charlie. But can he shed test anything for sex? Like any species?
I think.
No, not chondros.
Oh, no, it isn't? Okay. Oh, chondros. Yeah, that's the one they haven't figured out yet.
And I
Okay.
some other
That's right.
Morelia too.
That's
Like
right.
I don't know.
We'll probe them chondros.
Yeah, I don't think they can do Bolins either.
Really?
Probably
Yeah,
not
Any-
enough has been done with them. Probably.
probably. Yeah.
Or humans, Jeremy, if that's where you're going.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm just thinking it's like you're looking for the same chromosome, so why couldn't you? Like, why wouldn't it work for everything? You know what I mean?
Send Charlie your foreskin.
Oh, jeez. Like, what is this?
Anteater.
I think it works differently in snakes versus humans. The XY chromosome thing, I think it's a lot more complicated than that, and I think that's why it's taken so long. Even the sex determination thing took. I mean, I think the first one I knew about was in maybe like 2020. So, but I mean, I get where you're coming from, but I think it's more complex for whatever reason. I don't know. That's a scientific question for sure.
We starting a meme fight. I got some stuff in my phone. Too much.
But you're not taking into account as to what they identify as. So
this is true.
That's important.
Her.
Yeah. So don't just label them whatever. That's fucked up.
Oh man. Let me run another sponsor ad here real quick.
Good time.
I want to try to stay on top of this because I know if I can find a spot to throw one in here quick, I'm gonna take because we're gonna get into
pay them bills.
Track of time.
Make sure you check out Nathan at Infinite Possible Pythons. He is your guy to go to if you want to get into the Bang project. On top of it, he's working a bunch of awesome ball python projects. Kahua geckos, Leachianus geckos, crested geckos, some scaleless corn snakes, and he is your one-stop shop for all your branding needs. So check him out. Check out Chris Shelley over at S Reptilia if you need a high-end ball python, blood python, locality boa, or colubrid. He's also Pennsylvania's distributor of Coco to Go and the Chipper, and he can also hook you up with some rats. So make sure you guys check out Chris over at S Reptilia.
Dude, look at Sorrentino. He's like smoke coming out of them ears. He's working that fast.
He ain't working nothing.
Oh man. So all right, I do have a question because we got to talking about this. Oh God, I forget what it was. It has to deal with the Barons racers. Am I right? I think it was the Barons racers we were talking about. And
What's that? I want to intervene.
What's that?
I want to. Where do you get? Go ahead. I want to wait until I want to hear what you say, but then I want to question something about that too.
Oh, I think we're talking about how big they have to be, or how old they have to be, or something like that to breed. Because we were talking about that, and I think we had some different numbers thrown around. Am I right, John?
Mm-hmm. I want to see what their ears clean that night.
Yeah. Start with your opinion on that, Joel, or what you know from personal knowledge. Have you bred them before?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. After we decipher the age and we think sexual maturity, take us through what you would do, say, in preparation. Okay, you're getting ready to pair your male and female. What do you do from that point on? What time of the year do you start to pair, and how do you handle that as far as light cycle, temp drops, feeding, and just take us through that from beginning to end till she deposits her eggs, and then if you don't mind going right into getting the hatchling started, the whole process from your experience.
Sure. So it all starts with brumation. Well, let me back up. So honestly, I don't think I would be really surprised if somebody bred successfully a female Barons before age 5. That would shock me.
Really? Everything I saw on Google was 2-3 years old.
Google, the internet never lies.
It says sexual maturity, 2-3 years old.
I have a 2-year-old. It ain't breeding, Chris.
I have a 2021
Google.
I have a 2021 blue female over in this rack, and she's taking medium mice, but she's still a long way off from being, I mean, my adult female can take 3 jumbo mice in a sitting. So, she's 7.5 feet versus this little 2021. And I've done a pretty good job of power feeding her. I've been trying.
Pumping her up.
Yeah, blue Barons are fucking hot right now. So I've been trying.
Yeah, they are.
to get her up to size, and like I say, she's nowhere close. So
I've been doing Wednesday, Sunday with my babies.
Yeah.
With her being young like that, do you still brewmate her or give her a cool down?
No.
No. Okay. Nothing. Like you just keep her steady. Okay.
Feed her and keep.
And you don't until you're ready to breed. You don't brewmate anything.
Nope. None of the hatchlings. None of the juveniles. And that's pretty much how I treat things with
across all your species.
Unless they go off feed and there's an exception, right? So that the rule is, if I'm trying to get them up to size, then I just keep them going. But if there's something going on where they're going off food, like Arizona Mountain Kings are pretty notorious for it. I think they're really the number one offender where they, August, September hits and they're like, I'm good. So I put a lot of those guys down if they're showing signs that they're not going to feed through the winter, but pretty much everything else. And so, let me see if I have the info here. She was born in 2013 and no, I don't. The info's not there. Anyway, I have the first clutch in 2023. I know she wasn't 10 when she first bred, but I think she was probably 7. Would be my guess, 6 or 7.
Damn,
they're huge, dude. I mean, the heads on these adults are they're fucking giant. They're that big around. They're 7.5 foot. They're big snakes.
Chris, they are healthy.
Chris,
mine. I got her, so I moved in here in 18, and then I think I got her in 19, and she was already about 3 foot long. I mean, still kind of small, but pretty long. Mm-hmm. So I'd say, she's going on at least 7 years old, probably. So, yeah. I mean, she's big. She's 7 foot or so. She's not quite as girthy. I could feed her more, but there's no need to. She's just a pet. She's just chilling. But when we do go to breed her, I'm curious. I probed her twice, but I want to double check again just because I don't know. I'm always paranoid, but I don't want to do it too much. And in your experience, they probe pretty similar.
The females probe farther than you think. I feel like they go at least 3 subcaudals.
Okay, that's not far at all.
Yeah, well, when they're big, that's a big distance. When they're large, when they're small, that's basically nothing.
Right.
The adults go real deep. 18.
So, what about a male though? When's he ready to breed?
That's a good question because mine have always been that I've always raised up like a pair or something. So I've never had like a younger male going to an older female that I can really think of. I guess my blue male was younger than my green female originally, but I gotta say I think he was 5.
Really?
Honestly.
Now, can they be cannibalistic?
Not that I know of, but I've heard rumors.
All right, that would be my only thing.
I don't think it's true, honestly. What I've heard, So I've had I had a green pair and a blue pair originally. Now I have a 2021 blue and 2 2023 blues. So, I mean, I don't have a ton of, a deep pool of knowledge to pull from. But that being said, I've produced just as many blue barons on this planet as probably anyone else because these snakes will lay a huge clutch as long as you let them get big enough.
Have they double clutch for you?
No. I've never had
double clutch.
Thank God. I can't imagine what that would do. I'll have to show you a female on like 23 eggs and just how just sucked in they are. Like it's a lot of times the barons have to stay up a little later than most everything else because I'm still trying to pack on weight because they will eat, every 2 or 3 days. And you can tell when a snake is like fully digesting what they're eating and not type of thing. Like, they'll poop faster. The poop looks a little bit different, a little more thoroughly digested. And they're just going through it. Like, it's amazing.
So why mice? Why mice? They won't take rats or something?
They will. Yeah, they will take rats.
Yeah, I was just saying more protein.
There's better bone density in a mouse typically. But I mean, a nice sized adult female would probably take a weaned rat, I would imagine.
No problem. I've given them rats. Yeah, I've given them rats from time to time. The problem with rats is the food bolus that they make. So like like even an extra large mouse kind of compresses down better because they're not so like just jacked with fluid or whatever the fuck they got in there. But you give them a weaned rat and it just stays giant, like tall, and you're like, that doesn't look like it's sitting right.
Yeah.
So I mean, you could give them like a bunch of rat pups or something like that, but then you're just back to blood bags.
A pat of butter.
Yeah. So, and I have seen a couple people post like fat barons, which I think is crazy, but I think honestly that they must be feeding them rats because I don't think I could feed especially my big green female. She's the biggest of them all, and I don't think I could feed her enough mice to ever make her obese. I think she would just shit them out as quick as I give them, basically. Yeah. And she'd look good, but I don't think she'd ever get those like big hips and then the skinny tail like you see.
Well, you like to have softwares out there?
Yeah.
Okay.
That would probably be a good alternative too.
Yeah, I would give them one. All right. I mean,
higher in protein.
That's all I've ever fed mine is ASF.
Yeah. Oh, I think ASFs would be a great option there.
I think the poop's cleaner too.
They seem to be doing good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I wouldn't hesitate one bit. The only thing about ASFs I hate is that they piss on me every time I touch them and grab them by the tail. It's just a stream of piss, and then they're a little more apt to just go up to a snake and bite them in the face than any other rodent that I've seen. They're just fearless, and
they can be ballsy.
You just have to breed ASFs that are non-aggressive. That's all.
Yeah, which I don't. I don't breed. Yeah,
mine are assholes.
Yeah, have you seen that? When they'll just walk up to a snake and be like, they'll sniff them, and they're just like, "Fuck you."
They just walk up and bite me when my hand's in the cage, bastards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt so bad. One bit me the other day, and I kind of went to smack it, and I ended up hitting the rat cage. And I'm like, oh, that's what you get for trying to hit the rat. You know, I ended up smacking a cage. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, I never got bit.
Everybody back on track. All right,
the bites are. I never got bit.
Yeah. So anyway, I would say 4 would be smart for a male. 3 would be okay. I really don't know how they'd perform. Honestly, I don't think their sperm would be real mature. You know, my oldest female is 12 right now, so I don't know really what their lifespan is like. I'm sure if you're feeding them a ton, not brumating them, double clutching them, stuff like that, that would lower their life expectancy. But I would say, 5 would be the youngest I would try to breed a female. I put them into brumation. I keep them colder than I'm sure most people do. And that's just because of the way that my brumation room works. I can't really, stuff that's lower to the ground is colder. So I keep the barons higher, which keeps them 55 at the warmest. But I've seen them go down to like the low 40s and they're fine.
Anyone want to buy a trio?
Damn.
I was hitting up the guy that just bought that carpet from him. He's going to be asking for a trade back.
I'll look after him for a couple of years.
We called that one, huh?
I ain't got 7 years of that. I'm kidding.
No, you're not.
Sure he is.
I'll buy him half price in the next year.
I'm just saying all this shit so Chris will come off him already.
He's gonna fight it out. He's not
Really
coming off him. He's in it to win it.
Pennies on the dollar.
Someone a passion for them snakes, boy.
Just lost it.
I do think brumation is important with barons. I've done a little bit of research into like where you find them in the pampas in Argentina and stuff, and it does get cold there. I don't know about like, I would imagine that they hang out in rodent burrows in the wintertime. I'm not really sure about that. I don't know if anyone really knows what the hell they do in the winter. But yeah, there you go. Yep.
Nate's house.
But everybody I know who's successful with them does brumate them, from Europe to the United States to even China. Everybody who I know of is keeping them a little cooler. And I think even like 60 would probably be good. Just something. You gotta let them know that it's changing seasons. But anyway, I do 3.5 months, sometimes 4. I bring them out. I feed them as heavily as I can muster. And I introduce my male probably 3 weeks after brumation. And I don't think that much happens, to be honest. But I just don't. I hate missing it and
Don't want to
thinking,
miss it.
I should have done more. So I
Do
just.
you do anything when they come from out of brumation from the 55-50 to whatever you keep them at, 75-80? Do you do anything in between that in that 3 week period, or do you just throw them right in at 80 or 75?
So I will leave them. I drag the tubs. So my brumation room is at the end of the hallway in this other room. So I will usually, depending on the species, some of them that I feel like might be a little more sensitive, I'll leave them kind of on the cold end of the hallway for a day. But generally, I'll just drag them all into the main room where it's 73. And I used to be a lot more careful about this back in the day. I used to take little baby steps to bring them back up. And I used to do the same for getting them cold. I used to take baby steps. And now I'm a lot less careful about it because I've learned that it doesn't seem to be detrimental because I'm not losing anything. I'm not having respiratory problems or anything that seems to be detrimental. So I'll bring them into the main room, let them chill at 73 for a day or two, and then I'll put them in the rack. But I have back heat, so and I have a couple extra inches where I can push the tub all the way back against the heat, or I can pull it up to the front where it's 3 or 4 degrees cooler. So I'll always put them in the rack, but I'll pull it up so they're not able to fully just because sometimes you'll see snakes out of brumation, they just go straight on heat, and it just kind of freaks you out. Like you're like, oh, I don't know if you're ready for that. Obviously, they know what they're doing, but I feel like I know what I'm doing a little more, and I'm like, I'll give you a couple days before you just, they plaster themselves against the side. All their belly scales are facing it, and you're like,
Mine do that to the lights. They like,
yeah. And sometimes it freaks me out a little bit. So, so I give them like a week probably where they're just kind of slowly coming back up, and then I push the tub in. Usually they won't take a meal until it's been 10 or 12 or 14 days since they've been in brumation. That's been a thing that I haven't documented very well, is like when they take their first meal. So some years I'm like, oh, I'll just give them a try after like a week or whatever. And I'm like, that was a huge waste of mice. Like I end up feeding all my baby ball pythons a ton of mice that didn't get eaten. And so in recent years, I've been keeping better track. And I'm like, okay, until it's like 14 days out and they've been on heat for a good 7, I'm not even trying. And then last year, I think I had like 99% eat, which that's important. So yeah, I put my male in, and my male goes between 2 females. So I put him in with one for 2 days, basically. The other 2 days, take him out for 2 days, 2 or 3, feed him, and then put him back. Or well, I guess take him out, feed him, let him digest a couple days, and then start the cycle over. And I just do that all summer until they blow up, which they don't blow up till July normally. They're way later than everything else I get.
About when do you usually start pulling them out? Like your typical time you pull them out of hibernation?
Early March or 3rd week of February.
Early March.
Yeah, we're right there. Yeah. So it's a long time. I think people don't realize how late they usually go, and it seems like that's pretty common for a lot of people. But I see people in Facebook groups and stuff posting eggs and babies a lot earlier, but I think it's because they're keeping theirs in a cooler or something, so they're able to get them out in like January or whatever. You see people posting like hognose snakes and shit, and
I think you could probably take it like 6 weeks either way. You could probably go. You could probably go a little bit earlier or later if you wanted to. It's kind of up to you. Right? And plus your location too. I think has a lot to do with it too. I did mine a little bit earlier this year, just because I wanted to try to get some babies on the ground a bit earlier. So that's the fun thing about that. Now, did you witness any copulation with them, or the male courting, or is it like your typical colubrid courting, or is it different?
Yeah. I did want to mention light cycles because you went there. My blue pair doesn't have any light at all. They're in FB40 gray tubs.
Okay.
They don't know what the difference is. And then the big green female is in an opaque 42 quart. So she gets a little bit of influence there, but not much. This year, I'm kind of thinking about keeping them in one of these 3x2s back here and just seeing how it goes. I don't know about keeping the trio together, but maybe like the blue pair and then just move the blue male to the green or something like that.
Okay. And they bred fine in those tubs for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Very cool.
They've had no issue. Anyway, I went to the light thing, and remind me your question.
It was just basically courting. If you witness any courting or the male, or like, is it like a typical colubrids? Are they violent like pine snakes, or are they like?
Yeah. No, I don't. I haven't noticed. I mean, I guess a little bit of courting where I don't even know if the male's meaning to do it or if it's just tight quarters. So he's just like slithering on her back and she's like rattling her tail, like that type of thing. But yeah, last year I caught my blue pair. No, I can't remember. Anyway, 2 of them were locked up, and the female just dragged his ass for a ride while they were connected, and I was like, "Holy shit!" I shut the tub as quick as I could, but oh my god, he got just dragged by his dick. I don't know, 46 inches or so, and I was like, "That I've seen enough."
He wasn't even trying to like stay with her. He was just being manhandled.
Yeah, I mean he's so far up inside that thing that he
was locked up. Yeah.
Yep. Balls deep.
Oh, he was.
Balls deep.
Do they have spurs?
Play it, Nate. Play it. Yeah. Play it.
Okay. I don't know if I really looked at my female.
Sorry, no.
I don't remember now. I'm thinking about my female.
I'm thinking about like a hemipene and how it has like these crazy spurs like on the actual thing.
Yeah, they have them on that, but no, the actual spurs for courting.
No, I don't think that they do. No, they don't.
Interesting.
I was thinking about when I was breeding mandarin rat snakes, and I had a similar thing happen. And these, I don't know where they came from. They were some giant ass locality. They were like 6.5 feet long. They were fucking massive. And the hemipene on this male just got infinitely bigger. Like as it was in there, like all the excess hemipene just was like grow. It was like a fucking alien. It was crazy. It was all spiky.
Like a beer can.
Dude, it was
Did you ever see a turtle sloth?
Yeah, it's like that.
Dude, it's not pretty at all.
No.
Not pretty.
Very alien. So when you said spurs, I was thinking of the big spikes on this hemipenes. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, I do catch them locked up from time to time, but it's not very common. I just know that they're taking care of business sometime during the summer, and I will say that with the blue female, I always have some infertility. There's always some slugs. I don't think I've ever had 100% fertility. And with the green female, she's almost always 100% fertile. I'm not trying to say that it's anything to do with the mutations or anything like that. I really don't know. It's probably just individual. And that's one reason that I'm raising up more, because I'm just kind of curious to find that out, if that's kind of always. But the incubation is very long. It's a full 3 months.
So I'm sorry. Wait, hold on, real quick. Not to interrupt, but when you go back, when you about to start to see your eggs? July, you said.
Let me look here real quick.
You start pairing around March, give or take. March, April, May.
Yeah, usually, honestly, I think I start pairing in like April, because I get them up like early March.
So
I think I give them about a month before I put them together, because I mean I think I've been getting clutches for like 5 years. So the more I do it, the more I'm like, they're not going to do anything until.
Yeah, you know where they're going to go.
Yeah. So the green female laid July 2nd this year. Oh no, the blue female's tub isn't there right now. I think the blue female laid like early August. So, and then that ends up being August, September, October, like, October babies. And
so what is their normal like gestation? Like, how long do they hold them eggs for before they deposit them, and then how long is incubation?
That's a good question. It's fast. From the time that you see them like starting to even like plump up on the back end to the time that they ovulate. I usually miss the actual ovulation. And then, eggs seem to be 30 days or so after I just noticed the back end swelling.
Did they give you that pre-lay shed?
They do a pre-lay shed.
Like 7 to 10 days or so?
Yeah, it's pretty.
Okay.
Actually, I think it's like 10 to 12. It's a little longer.
A little bit longer, okay.
Yeah, but it always kind of catches me off guard. I'm like, holy, like this is really.
By that time, you see them and they're just swole, and you're like, oh shit, they're going in a shed. It's coming. Yeah, okay. All right.
And then you can palpate and feel, the eggs are they're like chicken egg size. So
no kidding.
So what do you do? Like the male to the green for a week, then put them with the blue for a week, or?
I cycle him through every week. So I give him like 2 days with the green, 2 days with the blue, take him out, feed him, let him digest, and then back through every week.
Okay.
Real quick.
Oh, I didn't know. I figured, he shot his gun on the first female.
Doesn't seem like it.
He's not like you. He's not like you, Chris.
Yeah, I know. I need a week.
He's got all summer to get it done.
I need a week to recover.
No, that's a very Python thought right there.
Now you
it is.
A lot of hard work
for sure.
4 inches around.
It is, because colubrids are out there getting it in. Like,
yeah, they don't waste fucking time.
Yeah.
Damn,
they don't have time to waste. Like, those females. Yep, pretty much. Those females won't be receptive.
Now, you don't do like ultrasound or anything, do you? You just film or just
just keep introducing them, man. They got such a short window that you got to hit that window. I mean, the time frame, he's talking April start pairing, and July you have eggs. You have 2 months, 6 weeks. You had that window.
I honestly think I could put them together in like June 1st, and I would get the same results.
Just hit it.
Yeah, but when they're selling for $2,000 a piece, I'd rather just make sure that happens.
Yeah,
it doesn't hurt anything, the males, except when he gets dragged around by the dick. It's not hurting anything.
He might need an extra week off and an extra pup or something.
Yeah.
So when they lay their eggs, do they just drop them or they coil them?
They coil them actually. Yeah.
Okay.
They kind of chill by them for a minute. Normally, I'm trying to think. I don't think there's ever been a time I was out of town or anything. So every time it's, they've got a few eggs left when I check, and then I take them out as soon as they're done. But yeah, every picture of the female of either female I can remember is they're so damn long. They're wrapped around them about 8 times. And I think they would leave them pretty quickly, but good question. I don't know.
All right. Okay. Now, are they do you do kind of similar substrate? Do you do like a perlite, vermiculite mix? Do you suspend them over water? What do you go about incubation? Do you saran wrap, and what's your time frame and temperature?
Chris,
I don't do any saran wrap.
Chris knows that. I said Chris would know that if he watched the first one.
There you go.
Maybe there's other people watching that didn't see the first one as well. So
nope, just you.
Nathan, do you know who Jan Blachowicz is from the UFC?
Yes.
That's who you look like. I've been trying to figure out who you look like this whole time, and it finally occurred to me. When I saw the memes, I was like, Jan Blachowicz, that's who it is.
I've been called worse.
Oh, great. Look, Chris is looking him up already. You're fucked.
That's a good thing to be. Dude, I'd go for that.
Trust me, these guys call me worse regularly. So
I didn't call you Yuri Prohashka.
Thank you.
So I do vermiculite and perlite mixed. I used to only use vermiculite, and I think I'm actually going to go back to that. I've had a lot of issues since I switched. I know I kind of want to go all perlite or all vermiculite, but ever since I went half and half, I've had a lot more issues with snakes being deformed or kinked or not being able to leave the egg. And that was actually the original reason I moved from vermiculite. Was I was having gray banded king snakes just stuck in the egg, slits all over the place, not able to escape, and dead in the egg. And they were fine. They weren't deformed in any way. They weren't kinked. They were just dead. And it was because the skin was so leathery for whatever reason. I think it has absorbed a bunch of moisture in the beginning of incubation, and then I think
Okay.
as it dries out, I don't think osmosis is like letting enough of that off because the eggs
Right.
weren't dimpling like they should. Like colubrid eggs should dimple really nicely right before the snakes cut with their egg tooth, and that wasn't happening. They were just really, really swollen, and sometimes, if you had to pull an egg off or something like that, like it'd be so swollen that if the eggshell was a little thinner, it would like bubble out. And so that was when I stopped using vermiculite because I thought that it was kind of letting too much moisture into the eggs.
Yeah,
And
too high of moisture.
yeah, and when you live in the high desert, that's difficult. Like to do it at once and then just it's good till the end. That's difficult here because it's so arid. So you got to kind of start wet if it's ever going to make it, because if you're having to add moisture, that's really detrimental too most of the time. Like, you'd have to like do a milliliter here, like it would have to be such a small amount that the eggs don't just blow up or rot immediately. So that's why I started doing a little bit of both, the 50-50 mix. But I'm not a huge believer that that's the best way to go. It seems like a lot of people who are all perlite do great. A lot of people who are all vermiculite do great. I don't know a lot of people who do the 50-50 mix, and that's what I've done the last couple of years. And I haven't been too enthused about it, but I've still been hatching barons, but I've had a couple bad eggs, or a couple eggs that were good go bad during incubation, and so who knows? But what was the other question you asked?
Temperature and how long?
I think I used to use incubators at like 80, 82, and then I started just putting them up on the shelf. After I got wires crossed and cooked a ball python clutch accidentally, because I have three colubrid incubators, and the middle one has the probe, and I just got my wires crossed, so it thought that the clutch was there, but it was in the top one, and so it was heating the top one, being like, yeah, it's still 86 or 87 or whatever it was, 89, but killed them all. So then I was like, I'm gonna start doing this Brian Barczyk method of just putting them up on the shelf, and I did that, and yeah, I've had great success with that, and it just makes me feel better when I'm out of town, I'm herping or whatever. They're not in a fucking death box where if something goes wrong, that shit's done.
Done, right?
You are fucking done. Even if somebody has a bad ilk against you and just wants to fuck with you, that's all they got to do. That's your whole year gone. When you do this for a living, and pretty much all the money you make is on colubrids, when you have them all stacked 3 high into incubators, you're like, that's a pretty vulnerable feeling, being like, if something goes wrong here, I'm fucked. So so I stopped doing that, and so the top of my racks is like 78.
Okay, so a couple of degrees cooler.
Yeah, they go a little longer as a result, but yeah, 3 months
that's nothing wrong with that. 3 months.
Yep,
okay.
3 months, which
wow, it's a high. Okay,
it's a long time.
yeah. Well, that's wild. Okay.
Are they a pain in the ass for like as hatchlings to get started and stuff? Because I know that was one thing you had asked too, Chris, about getting them started in feeding and established.
Not at all. That's funny you asked this, because this kid that I'm mentoring is buying a pair of rhino rat snakes, and I was like, and they're adults, and I was like, dude, do you know like everything involved with getting rhino rats going? Because that's pretty involved.
They're cool.
They're cool, and that's the funny thing, is that Barons racers are worth more than rhino rats, like by and large, because rhino rats are way harder, especially if you're buying one that's established on mice. That should be worth way more than a Barons racer, because of how difficult it is. You got to get them on fish, and then you got to get them over to mice. And
is that what it is? Fish? They start on fish? Okay.
Yep.
I didn't know if it was that or like little lizards or something.
Yeah, and a fish doesn't last long. They poop that thing out in a day and a half.
And it stinks.
Yep, it stinks. So you got to go to the pet store like 3 times a week. Otherwise, they'll die. Like, you can't feed them 1 guppy a week. They'll absolutely die. So anyway, Barons racers, way easier. I have one right now that I'm force feeding.
But I like.
There you go. Nice. I have one that I'm force feeding, and that's the only. I was just telling my kid who works here for me. I was like, a morning gecko in here because I have not had a Barons racer ever give me this hard of a time. And the good thing is that they're 14 inches long. They're robust, so you can jam pinky
Long
down.
time no say, no talk.
So you start off with a pinky mouse?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can jam a pinky, like a whole live pinky, all the way down, and that's no problem. Like with a gray band, that'd kill it. You can't do that. But with a Barons racer, so this snake is doing well, and no problem at all because it's big enough to handle, a little extra small pinky, just gently, obviously fed down there. But yeah, so I tried a morning gecko earlier. I haven't looked back in to see if it's gone yet, but I imagine it probably will be. And after one of those interactions where it actually does the swallowing process and figures that all out itself, I think it'll probably be good from there. I think frogs would probably be another good option for where they're from.
Where do you get your geckos from?
I breed morning geckos.
Oh, okay, good. We got to talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny. I had a stubborn green tree, and I've been trying everything, and he's getting acclimated. And I kept changing a few things slightly and trying to get him comfortable. And finally, yesterday, he took a weaned mouse for me. So I was like, it was only about 2.5 months, 3 months, but like he was starting to show it. He was starting to look a little bit skinny, and I was like, but I buy a gecko for him, and when that same night he takes a freaking mouse. I'm like.
That's awesome. Leave you holding the bag.
So what you said? You start the Barons off with like a tiny mouse pink.
Yep. Oh yeah, with Barons, I just give them frozen thawed, and I mean, I've probably hatched 50 plus. I have, I think, force fed one other prior to this.
Any assist feeding?
Yeah, but that was it. I had that one. I think I assist fed it like once. And then I gave it a live pink after that, took it. This year I've got the one that's giving me more problems, but other than that, I mean, shit, that's nothing out of
no, that's great.
World, I've never lost one. I've never had a baby Barons die on me.
Nice.
Seem pretty hardy.
Yeah, that's good to know.
Way better than Alterna, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, but those rhino rats are so freaking cool, especially like the blue ones.
Yeah,
like bluish teal ones.
Yep. Yeah, rhino rats are amazing. I have 2.2 this year that should produce for me, and I've produced them in the past. I've gone through the whole guppy whatever thing, or I guess rosy reds. You got to do rosy reds, but
yeah.
What's up,
Nate? Do you have the rhino rats or do you have the Barons?
Both.
You have both. Okay. I couldn't remember what it was that you were showing off when I was over last.
Yeah, Jeremy.
I only
got both.
I only have one rhino rat. It is a pet. I have no intention of breeding it because of what Joel is talking about. Awesome pet, but
it's probably
I'll let somebody.
It's probably a female though.
It's a male. Nope, it's a male.
It's all
Nope. No.
Females are hard to find, especially the lone females. We talked about rhino rats on the last episode, didn't we? About how they feed out of rocky pools and then they turn color as they go up in the canopy.
That's wild. That's pretty cool. As they start eating different prey and shit like that.
Yeah, so that's how their coloration works. That's why they have like a cryptic patterning on their back, and the what is it? Hoinon? I don't know. There's a new locale. Hainan, there it is. Hinen. Hainan is an island off of the South China Sea, kind of, I guess, southeast of the mainland, and they're like higher pattern ones, and their noses are more like straight. They're not so like hooked, so they're like a little bit different, which is cool. I definitely want a pair of the Hainan locale ones. They're way more highly patterned as babies, so they have like these little gray, like dark. So they hatch gray, like light gray, but then they have dark gray lines all down them, and they all do, but the Hainan ones have it's a lot more obvious on them. And then that's kind of the whole thing, is that they've got that rocky coloring where they can just hang out. They're like garter snakes as babies. They just hang out
blend
around.
right in.
They snipe out fish, little minnows all day, and then the bigger that they get, the higher in the trees they go, and that's when they turn green and they go after rodents and birds and stuff like that. And they eat a lot more birds than I think people realize, because they do have they have a mean rear fang, honestly, more than barons. Like, people say that barons are a rear fang, but dude, fucking rhino rats have a big.
Huh.
You seen it, Nathan? When they are eating, that fucker looks like it's gotta hurt. I don't think I've ever been tagged by the adults by that. But because it's way back.
Honestly, my rhino rat is the chillest animal I probably have. Like,
Really?
Yeah, my rhino rat, I would hand it to a child. It's the calmest.
Dude, all my colubrids are like.
That's good. That's how you are.
What's the temperature in your room?
My room?
Yeah.
74.
95.
74. I know. Let me take this shirt off.
Oh, there you go.
I'd say they're pretty mellow.
That's surprising.
They have a high feeding response. Mine does, at least, but I mean, they're pretty mellow, I think, though.
Mine eats. Yeah, mine. I don't think mine's
my milks, my barons. Nope. None of them chill.
The barons are fast, and the barons aren't as chill. They're not aggressive in any way. They're just they love to run. They love to run.
They just want to go.
Right, exactly. Like, they are definitely one you've got to be ready to hold. Right. Yeah. I've opened the bin and had my female eject herself clear across the room.
Oh shit!
Literally, like, grabbed her midair. So
that's how the Taiwanese beauties are, man.
Yep. Cave dwellers too.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What's up, Scotty?
But I'll tell you what, they're very curious. So when I slide the tub up and they're like,
yep, they're very much like that.
And I'll stick my finger there and it'll come up and like press his little freaking stuck up nose at me.
Oh, you're bonding.
Sticking my finger there with mine.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, I know what you want, and it's not going to be this.
Nope.
That's funny.
Out of all the species that you do work with, Joel, what has been the most rewarding and the most difficult,
challenging?
Yeah, the most challenging.
Well, those are probably two different questions.
Yeah.
But Durango Mountain Kings are honestly my pride and joy. Like, they're really well, they can be. Certain clutches, certain bloodlines, they're no sweat at all. But I would say it's a tie between Subox or Trans-Pecos rat snakes and Durango Mountain Kings are the two most docile of all snakes that I've ever worked with. They're so inquisitive. They're so intelligent. They're like pensive about what they do. Like, they'll sit there and think for a minute before they like make a move. They'll never turn and bite. So honestly, Durango Mountain Kings are the one that I'm like, dude, if you have a kid or a wife who's afraid of snakes, or you just want a really fucking badass snake that is just gonna chill and blow your mind every time you interact with it, a Durango Mountain King would be it. Or a Trans-Pecos rat snake. They're really cool too. They're
how hard's the husbandry on them? Basic, easy.
I mean, honestly, all my colubrids. I'm trying to think if there's. I mean, yeah, all my colubrids are kept the same way.
North American, they should, pretty simple to keep.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And Joel's gonna hold a pair for me as soon as he makes some.
The Durangos?
No, the Trans-Pecos.
Oh yeah.
I saw a cool one at the show. I forget what it was. I don't know if it was albino or if it was just hypo, but it was really neat looking. It was really cool, and it double took on it. And I never had one. I never worked with the Trans-Pecos.
You don't see them. They're real. They're pretty rare, aren't they? Still.
Yeah, I mean, you see them around, kinda, but
not too much.
Yeah, and I think we were talking about on the last episode, like, it's this weird thing where there's like a niche of people who want them really badly because there's like a big social media following of them, but they all want just one. So that's where it all goes. Like when I produced my 8 babies last year, they all went to people who are like, I don't care what you're charging for it. I just fucking have to have it. And then that's it for them. They just have their one Trans Pecos and they're good. So
what kind of morphs they got?
Low.
what's that?
What kind of morphs?
Oh no, my bad.
Sorry.
I was going to say that it keeps the numbers low. If only one person wants them, that's great. It's great for a breed.
Yeah, it keeps demand high, which is great. And then there's not a bunch of assholes trying to get up on the next generation, which is that's the dream right there, you know. If I could do True Ghost Puzzle and not everybody else is doing the same thing, then that'd be awesome. They have blonde, axanthic, and albino, and there's 2 lines of albino. There's Loma Alta, which is a West Texas locale, and then there's Euro line albino, and they're not compatible.
Oh, okay. I assume came from Europe, the other line.
Yeah, it just popped up in a captive collection.
Be nice.
The blonde is cool though because it kind of obliterates pattern. It is a color mutation, but it's absolutely more probably a pattern mutation. I don't know, 50-50, I guess, but it's pretty extreme. And axanthic blondes look fucking awesome. They're super cool. There are some snows out there. I've never been able to get my hands on one. I'd like to. I can hopefully make one in probably 3 years, unless something kind of pops up on the market. But yeah, they're really cool.
What are they native to? What states are they native to?
They're West Texas. I think honestly West Texas. I think they have a small range, honestly.
Not north out anywhere from there.
I don't think so. I don't think they go into Oklahoma. I'd love if somebody would check that. I bet they go into northern Mexico.
Okay.
A small amount, but honestly, I think they're pretty kind of siloed to a small geographic area. And I've looked for them in the wild, and I told this on the last live, but there was a guy. So you know about gray-banded kings, I would imagine. And so Black Gap is a pretty popular spot to go looking. So we were taking laps on Black Gap, and there was a big storm before. We found, a coach whip. We found a Mojave patch nose. We found some good stuff. And this other herper was taking passes like opposite us, and every single time I passed him, he's like, I just saw a suboc, but that's it. And then second time, just saw a suboc, but that's it. Third time, just saw another suboc, and I was like, motherfucker, where were you? Exactly. Like, I'm turning around. Take me to that spot. So he literally led me there and was like, it was right here. I'm like, fucking, I believe you, but damn it. So I didn't see a single rat snake the whole time we were there. We didn't find an emery. We found nothing. And this guy found 3 subocs at the same time we were cruising the same road. Man, I was bummed.
It's the luck of the draw, man.
Which is
that's wild.
For the course.
You find like a lot of people are getting into like the colubrid side of the hobby, or is it still like everybody's still so heavily focused on the balls? Or do you think that it's kind of maybe starting to drift over now that the balls are a little bit overworked?
That's a good question. Man, that's a really good question, especially because I make most of my money on colubrids. So for me, like, I've made a living off colubrids the last 5 years. So I've never really felt like it's hurting, and I've never really yearned for like a bunch more people to come in or something, so I have more customers or anything like that. I never really feel like a lot of pressure. Like right now, I've got over 100 ball pythons posted, and I'm like, please, something just shake loose. Like, I don't know, like last year I had this Japanese guy. He's like, I'm gonna buy like 75 snakes from you, and if you can export them to me. And I was like, fuck yeah, like. But last week I sold. I mean, shit. Tomorrow I'm sending out 50 plus colubrids. And it's just because of weather and whatnot. It didn't all sell in one day.
Shipping a bunch out.
One guy did buy 34 corn snakes from me last week.
Wow,
and
that's a nice pickup.
that's another day type of thing. So
Yeah.
I honestly think the colubrid market has always been pretty rock solid, especially if you're in the right type of niche. But I do think that the more difficult ball pythons and geckos are another one that are getting a lot more difficult to compete in. I do think that there's a lot more people just branching out and being like, what else is out there that's going to, and it makes it sound like everybody's out there to make a buck. And I really don't think that that's the case, but you definitely want to recoup your costs. And that's super fair. You know, if you're a gecko breeder and you're like, dude, I paid $450 for each adult and I'm making $25 babies, that's going to take you a long ass time to recoup that cost with how much cheaper. So I don't blame these people for being like, well, what else is there?
Yeah.
And although I do think that colubrid prices probably need to come up because of inflation and because rodent prices are also higher, that's been one complaint that I've had is everything has come up, and even some colubrid prices have come down. And I'm like, how can that really be? Like, that's not really sustainable. If I'm, you know, my rodent pro order used to be $3,500 and now it's $5,000 for 6 weeks. I've got to charge more, and you can't really compete if you do that because a lot of people are just undercutting. So I do still see that, but quality is where it's really at. Like, if you have some species that you just have nicer examples, I think people really value that in the colubrid world.
They are,
like,
yeah.
I want the best. Like, I don't care. I don't have people arguing with me over price with colubrids, hardly ever. They're like, this shit is the best that I've seen. I want it. Done deal. Versus the ball python people being like, how low would you go? And it's like,
Yeah, it's already low enough.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
Wait,
this
hold
thing
on.
is rap.
Hold on. Chris told me that you were selling your Barons too expensive.
He did. They're all gone.
He did, right? He never even met you, and that was what he said to you, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Rip him.
that's what I thought. Hey, by the way, Joel, how many of them do you have still?
I have 0 blues. I still have the greens.
They built a beautiful relationship over it.
Yeah.
Yo, bro, your shit's too expensive. Can we be friends?
Please forgive our friend.
He was nice about it. He was cool about it. He came in through the back door. I knew what he meant, though.
That's the way he rolled.
He
baby.
always does.
Dolentino.
Joel just admit to me that Chris comes in through the fucking back door. What the?
Clearly, they talked quite a bit.
Yeah, he wined and dined me for a while before that, but
At least he bought you
I
dinner.
had my Barons before I talked to Joel.
Chris, tell me exactly how this went.
And then I told him I thought my prices were relatively well priced, and he's like, "Well, that's good for me when I make mine." I was like, "That's right."
So
7 years
Oh,
later.
now he's selling them to Nate anyway because he doesn't want to wait 5 years.
Yeah.
So I want to get this straight. Was his approach to you to try to guilt you into your shit was too expensive, so you come down cheaper for him? Is this what he was? Is this where he was going?
I already had my snakes.
Why would you reach out to somebody
I
and
got
say
my
something
snakes
like that? What the fuck is the matter with you?
He's trying to
I
stole
got my
Tino.
snakes and you're too expensive, motherfucker. Like, what the hell happened here?
But will you be my friend?
He was bonding.
Well, what's that movie? They're like, did we just become friends?
So many activities.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna say, man, I've heard a lot of weird friendships, but damn, that's way up there.
Yeah.
However it works.
I told you were selling shit too cheap.
Yes, you did.
Joel, do you have either of my babies near you?
Yeah.
Can I see one?
Yeah, they're ready to go out tomorrow.
Oh, I thought he was talking to Chris.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. No,
I thought he was asking
you know,
Chris about his babies that he's going to bring over this week.
Look at that, you know.
I
made
no,
friends,
no.
got you a Sal.
I didn't even call up Joel and ask him and tell him that they were too expensive.
No, you didn't.
No.
That's why you got a discount, Nate.
No, he just had something that I absolutely have been after for a long time. So
Black snakes, okay. You like the BBC?
Yeah.
I told him that they're melanistic leonis. There's
oh, man,
MBKs.
that's awesome. Yeah, he swapped them first.
Dude, what? There we go. This is hard to do. This is the male is the little bit smaller one. The female is the bigger one. Because I always like when the female comes bigger, personally.
Mhm.
It looks like they don't even have any pattern almost left at this point, do they?
No, they don't.
That's awesome.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
they're
Wow.
Mexican blacks, right?
No, black milks, right?
No, these are
Oh.
Nuevo Leon king snakes.
You guys are all right.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I was
Nate's
gonna say,
used to when the female's
Well,
bigger. His wife's
lost their
already.
pattern already. Jeez.
I was just about to bust Nate's ass there because
His wife's
Kelly there used to
You're
breed
gonna
the
bust on his
Mexican
ass?
blacks. You can be like, what? Chris's snakes weren't good enough for you.
I gave
Yeah.
Chris our Mexican black king.
He had one. He gave to me. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. Look
That's
at
right.
notice they're not musking and
Yeah, they're-
shitting when
No, they're a lot calmer. They're a lot calmer. And look at their head. Bring that up and show that head off, like how bulbous, like square and like
Yeah.
big they are.
they're super cool.
They're cool.
Yeah,
It's hard to.
I love my
Wow.
Arizona mountains. So
that's wild.
when I saw he had these, I had to have them.
Yeah, they're
That's
cool.
pretty sweet. What's their average adult size, Joel?
3 foot, 3.5.
3 foot. You stay nice and small.
Yeah,
That's wild.
they're nice and small.
Awesome.
Dude, this is like so hard. This is like a
Everything's
mirror
bad.
image thing. You guys deal with this?
Yeah,
Mhm.
everything's
Whatever
back.
direction you
My
think you
camera's
need
like
to
on the
go,
side,
the
so I
opposite.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah,
here you
think
go.
opposites.
You guys see it?
Here you go, Nate. Here you go, Nate.
Oh, that's funny. Dude,
I
Yeah,
did get
they're
my
cool.
Surface Pro to
They're
work,
chill.
so hopefully
Yeah, they're
things look
super
better
chill.
on this camera than they did on the last one.
No, they look good.
No, they're
I do
cool.
have black milks though, if you want to see those.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, good
They're
going,
not-
man.
They're not black. But
Perfect.
Mine just ate today.
Sorrentino better produce some this year.
Oh man, mine just ate.
Let's see. While Joel's getting those, I'm going to run another channel sponsor here, guys.
On it.
Stop wasting time trying to prove out animals or taking chances on possible hets or genes you don't know that are there. Head on over to Charlie at Gray Rider Reptiles and ShedTesting.com for all of your shed testing needs. He's fast, accurate, and adding new tests on a regular basis. So head on over to ShedTesting.com and check him out. Make sure to use the code CARPET15 for 15% off of your shed test order. Use nothing but the best at ShedTesting.com.
these guys are
let me
going
run
to be
the last one, Joel.
a little more crazy. So this one's 2023. Yeah. So for me last year, for everybody else 2 years ago. This one's really cool though because he was born apparent. You can see he's got a bunch of missing
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's cool.
That is pretty cool.
saddles there.
You got Nate. You like that BBC?
The only drawback is obviously he's going to be jet black here pretty soon, but he still looks cool for now.
Yeah,
This is one of his siblings from a later year. This
right.
Are they Honduran?
Yes. No, mine are Costa Rican.
Okay.
Sucker's
What's
going
the
to give
big-
itself.
What's the biggest difference?
Between Costa Rican and Honduran.
Yeah.
As far as I
Besides-
know, there is one locale in Honduras that gets pretty black, but I don't think that any of the Honduran milks get all the way black, like the Costa Ricans. And what's the one you have, Chris? You were telling me about how you have.
Honduran. Mine are
Yours are
Honduran.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
They're like some. I forget the guy said. It's like a Dane something line. They're really. They're supposed to be the blackest of the line. I don't know. Some guy in Ohio. I forget all. It was so long ago. I got an email that has all the information. I gotta dig it up.
That's important.
So I guess they can. What
Yeah,
was
it's
the
in
other
an
thing?
email.
There's another country I was just hearing about. I think there are milks in Ecuador.
Oh, okay.
that will also get. They act like a black milk because the white bands disappear, but they end up red and black, which is kind of cool.
Interesting. Yeah.
So there,
How-
one's really interesting looking, just with how like the blacks just,
Yeah.
like,
Come
kind of
ahead. Yeah.
fading into it. It gives it
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
faded, staticky look.
Yep, and that's how it goes. They go from this. I mean, they're even cleaner than this when they first are born, and then
Right.
every shed, the black tipping, like those little black tips of the scales, they just grow and grow every single shed, and it's cool to watch because sometimes the black will take over the red first, and the white bands will remain. That's kind of the most common thing, is it's like black and white for a while.
Right. Huh.
But other ones, the black will take the red out, or sorry, take the white out first, and it'll be black and red mostly.
Oh,
You really never know how they're going to develop, but yeah.
How old's yours, Sorrentino? Blow him up real quick. Let me see how black that one is. How old is it?
I don't know which one this is. Whatever one lays eggs is going to be the female, I guess.
Yeah, you'll figure it out real quick.
Normally how it does go, Chris.
I forget which one's which.
How old is yours?
Now he's about 4. I think
Okay.
now.
So it's through its whole color change already.
This one is. The other one's still. You can still see tricolor in it.
Oh, really?
A little bit.
It looks like you can still see a little on his neck, can't you? On the bottom side of the neck. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can.
It looks like it, at least from here. Like on the chin.
belly looks like freaking glass, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's awesome. It looks like obsidian.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other one's still. You can still see tricolor on it.
Let's
What-
see the other one.
Joel, what's your theory on their whole OTC change? Like, is it because the babies stay, on the ground floor, or stay more, towards something out in the open with those colors? Like, do you know anything about that?
I haven't really heard what the theories are. I don't actually know that people have theories. I think it's because they're from high forests, so they need to have as much melanin as possible to just
To get
absorb.
much heat up, yeah.
Mhm. I was actually listening to a guy on the holdback rack who was just in Costa Rica not long ago, and he said that he was hoping to find black milks where he was, and it was like August, I think, or July. It was summer. I mean,
Yeah.
it's whatever there. It's equatorial, but still, he said it was. I think the words he used was it was fucking cold. It was like 50.
Right at night, yeah. Kevin Barron. How about
There
that
you
for a
go.
fucking last name, Barron?
I know, yeah.
He's a good guy. I talked to him a couple times in Daytona. Yeah,
So I
he's
think
fun.
he was in range. I think he was right there because he obviously enough that like he knows where to go. And hearing that it was, I think he was even saying during the day it was only like 60 tops. So it was, cold enough that, and we know that black milks don't really need a lot of supplemental heat, if any. And so I really think they rely heavily on that melanin to attract sunlight. So I think
Don't go back there.
probably as babies they're a little more.
Don't be wagging your
they're more
fucking
vulnerable.
tail.
I think black milks are willing to be out and seen.
Oh, she's clenching up on me.
Right.
Why are you
So
sipping
as
it up?
babies, they need that
This is the female,
what is it called? Mono. What is it called? Mono something crypt. What is it called? Anyway,
Bitch.
they need to look like a French snake. In other words, symmetry. Yeah. Anyway, there's a scientific term for it. They need to look like a coral snake because they're, a bird could eat them, much less freaking mammal. And then once they're that size, I think that they're pretty impervious to most things.
More of an apex, yeah.
Oh yeah, they just ate a wean rat today, both of them.
Yeah, that makes sense. The brighter colors is the baby. Bright colors equal usually poison. In nature, so it makes sense like that. I know it was something similar to like the blackheads or something like that, where like they were like a northern mountainous type species where they had to evolve into that black because they traveled up further into the mountain or something and had to really use that to utilize, for heat.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm looking forward. They're on the bucket list.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I did MBKs and they were just like, they didn't really do it for me. I think I would be more impressed with the size of these guys. What do your dogs top out at?
So I have 2 locales. I have the Limon locale, which from what I understand is the Pacific side of Costa Rica. So that was the San Antonio Zoo stock. They get much larger. I also have the Providencia locale, which is from the Atlantic side, and they're a little smaller. I mean, I think it's kind of like you're trying to see that they're smaller because they're like a different locale. Like last year, I had like males of one and females of the other, and I was like, guys, if you want to breed them together, I honestly think it's fine. Like, I don't think that they're that different. But I had a bunch of milk like purists being like, bro, don't tell people to mix these locales. I'm like, well, if I only have a male of this and a female of that, then whatever. I honestly don't like when I look at my adults, I don't see a difference. So whatever. But yeah, Costa Rica is not that vast of a place anyway, but you know how it is.
You get them purists on you.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I really like those.
Oh yeah, but
those, where do they? Were they Sheridan County?
Yeah,
Milks.
Those milk.
I love the whites on those, man. That is really sweet.
Those are crazy, huh? The
Are they
really
like the white and orange ones?
The really crazy white one was a Cherry County. So if you saw my Instagram post, there was a Utah milk first. Yep. There was a Cherry County next, and then I think there was a red milk third.
Yeah.
If you looked on my Morph Market, then you've seen the Sheridans too.
Yeah.
Which are also really nice and white. But dude, the Cherry Counties, they stay white, which is crazy. Like pale milks are called pale milk because they kind of turn piss yellow, to be honest. Which is cool. Like I don't mind it at all. Like they still look good. But they're not white and black like the babies are, with a nice red streak through the middle. So that if you ask me, the Cherry County are like levels above, just because of what they turn into as adults, and I mean, shit, the way they look now too. But yeah, the Sheridans are, I mean, all of that stuff, man. There's Pennington, South Dakota. That's one of the really nice locales of pale milks. There are so many locales of milk snakes in our country that people just overlook. Like,
oh yeah.
And you guys probably have milks there, right? You guys have Eastern milks, don't you?
We got Eastern, yeah.
Dude, Eastern.
I've only ever seen one in my whole entire life out in the wild.
We have a lot by us.
I would like to herp some Easterns.
Easterns can be crazy, especially
They're not very nice.
Yeah.
Everyone I've come across has been pretty chill, but you do get the varieties. You get some really wicked ones, and you get some ones that just look like absolute dog shit too, you know?
Yeah.
Well, have you ever thought that an Eastern milk looks a lot like a corn snake? Like they have a lot of Pantherophis influence?
Oh, yeah.
I really think that there needs to be some DNA testing done, because I do think that there's some Pantherophis deeply ingrained, and that's not out of nowhere, because if you look at gray banded king snakes, they have annulata DNA in them. So those are Mexican milk snakes, and we've found, not me, but people have found like pure 50-50 crosses in the wild of milk snakes and gray banded king snakes. So to think that an Eastern king and a gray rat or a corn snake would integrate is not a wild thought in my mind.
Not at all.
So every time I see an Eastern, I'm like, that's a cool corn milk thing.
Yeah, it is. Sure.
But now watching black milks go through their coloration is awesome.
It's a Bashley.
Set. I see a lot of them up at we got a camp up near Williamsport, or up above Williamsport, outside of what the heck is the town outside there? It's up near the Grand Canyon in PA. It's like central North PA, and I see a ton of milks up there. Like every year, I see, you know, a half a dozen to a dozen different ones. So it's pretty cool to see that many in that little area there. It's,
That
you
is
know, it's
cool.
a valley, grasslands, and some rough greens we saw too. I have yet to get my hands on one or see one, but I seen one smashed in the road, and the wife saw one out on the trail. So they're there. It's just a matter of getting one in my hands, man. Rough green, they're neat.
That's awesome. That's my other. Those are my two other arguments that Pantherophis has to be heavily influencing the Eastern milk. Is the size. Eastern milks are fucking huge compared to pretty much every other milk. Coastal plains can get big too, which is weird. But also there's Pantherophis involved.
Yeah,
there.
I've come across some 4-foot Easterns up here easily.
And they're just out in the open. Unlike they go up in and they raid like birds' nests. And they're up in people's, you know, people have like a bird box or whatever, and they have a little nesting, and they go up and like, dude, that is not a milk snake type of activity anywhere.
Black rats and racers, yeah.
Yeah. So
we got some big black rats around this area too.
Oh yeah.
They get like
Chris picked one up on the way to the barbecue the one year.
Yeah, I picked one up off the road on the way to Jeremy's house. We whip around the corner, and I'm like, snake! And the wife like throws the 4-ways on. I jump out and walk it across the road, get a picture with it. It was great.
Nice.
We get a lot of them. A lot of them.
Up there, them Rocky Hills. Yeah.
That's probably one of the animals I would love to own that's native. Would be just a plain Jane black rat snake. I would love
black rat.
one.
Are you allowed to legally?
You're allowed to keep them, I think. Yeah, you're just not supposed to sell them, I believe. That's how it works.
Oh, so you are allowed to keep them legally?
I'm pretty sure you are. Yes, you just can't sell them. But
That's
double
how it
check
is in my
before
state
you.
with native stuff.
I'm actually shocked that we're allowed to keep them.
Stupid. Oh yeah.
I'm shocked that we're allowed to keep them
Chris.
too. Like normally, like anything native, it's like a bigger no.
When I got in, I was told anything native to PA you could not keep. So I don't know.
Yeah, I know we weren't allowed to keep box turtles.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So let me run. Yeah. You can have king cobra, just can't have a simple
You can't have
little
a
box.
hedgehog. You can't have a freaking what's it called? The flyer.
Flying squirrels.
Hedgehog, how about that?
Yeah, no hedgehogs.
What's that?
Now I'm asking Chris Shelley what this is.
Ooh,
It's pretty.
right.
Pretty sure it's a snake.
So it's not albinos, no red eyes. Looks to be white-sided. Yeah, I see white-sided for sure. I think there's a little bit of a glare, but I can see kind of like the yellow and the patterning. What about the side gut?
It's not white-sided, I can tell you that.
No?
No.
Wow, it's giving me that kind of vibe.
What species is it? Let's start there.
It looks like a gopher, the head, but I was gonna say a bull.
No,
like
it's a gopher.
body wise, but a gopher. Okay, that's what the head pattern's telling me.
Yep.
Or like the head structure, I should say.
I hope this doesn't look as bad to you guys.
I was going to say a corn snake.
No, they have a slightly different head structure.
Yeah, they do for sure.
Geez, I don't know. It looks white-sided, man.
The joke's on you. I don't know what it is either.
Oh, okay.
It's wild caught. It's wild caught, and it's fucking badass. And I'll tell you, Jason Nelson really wants it.
That's wild, dude. Don't give it up. Breed that thing.
Well, the problem is it's a native animal, so I've got to.
So you can't
ship it.
I've got to. I can breed it. I can do whatever I want with it, but in order for me to sell babies, I've got to. I don't know, go to Senate or something, and I don't know what the hell I got to do, but anyway,
what I know,
figure out.
You can probably trade or gift them.
No, I can gift them. Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, I'm your man.
Yeah,
Let
they're gonna
me see the tail pattern. Let me see the tail
you're
pattern.
gonna have
Like,
to
what
gift
does
me
it do?
something back.
Oh, absolutely. That's
Yeah.
what gifts are all about, brother. Wow, it's almost that almost has like a tiger influence.
Yeah, dude, the pattern is insane. You have to look. I've got some good pictures on my Instagram.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out on there.
Is it like, you know how they normally have that just blocky, like square
Yeah.
pattern?
Saddles, yeah.
Yeah, this thing does
No,
not.
that's like tiger pattern almost, like the tiger bulls. Yeah.
It's like a
Is
parrot too.
Does that like, or like, again, partially colorblind, but is it that like orange bands to it?
Yeah,
Or
it's like peach
color am I
base
seeing?
color with orange, or like a
Okay.
dark, like a burnt
That's
brown.
crazy. That was wild caught. Holy shit.
But
So
the
there is
craziest
white.
thing-
There is white-sided in gophers, right?
I would imagine.
I think
would
there
imagine.
is,
Yeah, I would imagine, but
but that's way too yellow. Yeah.
yeah. I asked
All right.
Jason, and he and I agree that it's probably leucistic.
The eyes do look pretty dark.
The eyes were bright blue when we first were checking it out, but
You
now
can't see it in the camera.
I know you can see the iris is
Or
is
red.
like sapphire blue.
Oh, okay.
The pupil
That's
is red, and the iris is like bluish. I don't know. It's freaking. It's wild.
It's cool. It's definitely.
Did you give up? Did you give up the pin location where you found it?
Yeah, I'm sure. Privately, I didn't
That's
find
awesome.
it. So my rodent supplier out west, he sent me a picture of a dead snake, and he's like, "Dude, what do you think this is?" And I was like, "That's a crazy gopher morph," and it was dead in the bottom of a garbage can, and I was like, "Well, just keep it so you can preserve it, and put it in a museum or whatever." And then in the morning, he was like holding it in his hand. He's like, "It freaking came back to life overnight." So
Holy shit.
his neighbors' cats were actively like eating it. Like it had cuts on its back and all this stuff. And so they like took it away, and it was dead. And they put it in this bin, and it came alive overnight. And he's like,
Hell yeah, dude! That thing's
That's
got a
awesome.
story, man.
yeah.
That makes
Yeah,
it
I
even
don't
more
even see
cool.
any scars.
Yeah, in person you can actually shit. It's been a few sheds now. No,
Yeah,
actually you
let's
can't
say,
see any
looks like
scars.
he'll-
No, you're
That's
right.
wild.
But when I got her, her back had a good like stretched portion where it was like straight and neat, where you could see right through the skin.
Yeah.
It's all come back together. The only other thing that I worry about is that maybe it could be like an incubation like error, or like just a morph from like a weird incubation, because when I went to sex her, her cloaca is weird, and it has like this bump here.
Okay. I saw it was a little gape there. I didn't know if she was getting ready to poop.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So it looks like she has. I honestly think it's just a scent gland that's just kind of prone to getting stuff in it, but she's got kind of like an off kilter terminal vent there.
Yeah, interesting.
So, I don't know. So I had some trouble sexing her at first, but honestly, now that she's getting bigger and doing better, I honestly don't think that that's the answer. I think sort of mutation. She just has a weird butthole.
Yeah. Hopefully it works all right.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not anti-hemipene.
Right. Detrimental.
That's pretty
sweet. That's exciting.
Yeah.
I like that.
She's dragging any males around.
Very cool.
I know. Yeah. That could be how that happened. But yeah, I do know where. Obviously, I know where she was collected, and so
right.
in the spring I'm gonna go look around for some possible hets or whatever.
Yeah. Heck yeah. For sure. It'd be neat to take that to a normal, just to start from the ground up and see exactly what it is.
Yep. Exactly.
Sweet.
And she's been a champ, man, since day one. Just took a frozen thawed pink from Tongs like the day she arrived. And
they're so hardy, man. They're so hardy, that species, the Pituophis, man.
Wow.
I just got a new one at the show the other day, and like literally I let her sit in the rack, and she was a little underweight, and today she took a fuzzy, no hesitation, just perfect.
You gotta love that. That's why you got to work with some pits, especially if you do like locality king snakes or something like that. Just something that's easy, that just no matter what, they're gonna toe the line. Like all the bulls that I've ever produced, I've never had a single issue. No live, no scenting, no nothing. Just fucking fuzzies, basically peach fuzzies.
Pretty
at
much.
least right out the gate. That's nice. That's refreshing.
Yeah, real fish. I had one give me issues, but it was really tiny. It didn't look healthy, so gonna happen.
And that's one market that is doing really well is bull snakes. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
If Chris tells you guys about that, because I know you produce quite a few, but
yeah,
bull
for
snakes
sure
are popular right now, and then same thing. People don't argue about price with that stuff.
Nope, not at all.
They're
I
like,
don't think people doing it though, is there? I mean, is there that many Pitchawofus breeders around? I mean,
there's a few pockets.
That I know.
Well, there's Scott Boss Hogs. He's got a ton of bulls and stuff. He's got a lot of nice stuff. But we work.
I thought he just did hog nose though.
He does hogs and bulls.
Okay.
I don't know if he has pines or gophers, but I know he's got a lot of bulls. But he works in some other lines. Like he does a lot of Stillwater and Ballum stuff. I got all Trumbauer and Miami stuff and Hanneman hypo stuff. So like we work with the same species but different morphs, so to speak. And then there's TSK. They're a pretty big producer. Summer. I'm trying to think Jason, and like as far as big breeders, those are really only people. And there's little pockets of guys that have handfuls here and there like us, but nothing big. I mean, I'm only doing maybe 4 clutches next year of bulls, but I have like 3 or 4 pines and all that stuff too. So
shout out to TSK, by the way. TSK is awesome. Dan has really helped me out a lot. I would look to him as a mentor.
Oh yeah.
I haven't talked to Colette a whole ton. Summer's kind of always there. Like I really admire those guys because they're just like a full blown family business, and they stick to the G code. Like they don't share shit with anybody. Except for Summer. Like she's got her
Summer's
YouTube channel.
Been doing videos and opening up a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, but like before that, dude, these guys don't share anything, and they don't give a fuck, which is great because they're out there just living their snake life and making money and
plugging away.
They don't need the rest of us to build them up. You know what I mean? Which I respect. I think that's awesome. Like people who like pander too much and like, hey, look at me. Hey, look at me. Like the Bells, those type of people who are just like, dude, we just lay the cut and do what the fuck we do. I respect that a lot because it's too easy to be like, so loud on social media. Like, I think it's respectable for sure.
Definitely.
And it would be a lot easier for all of us if we had hard goods that we were all selling by the thousands per day.
Yeah.
What other Leonis Kings do you do?
I do. Let me think. Okay. So the main focus is the keyhole line, which is from Alaska Reptiles.
Do you do any of the blue stuff?
Yeah. I think I do I think I'm the only one who does blue stuff.
Oh wait, there's a blue freaking king snake?
Really?
It's pretty damn blue.
Hold
It's
up.
not as blue as a Baron's Racer, but
Wait, another blue snake? I gotta see
pretty blue.
this.
It's
Do you have these to show? I'd love to see a blue king.
I want to see a blue freaking snake, man.
Do you have a blue? Wait, do you have a blue Leonis keyhole?
Yeah.
You do.
That's the only line
I bet that's badass.
Yeah, that's the only line that I have that produces blue is the keyhole line. They're all in brumation right now. I can go see if I can rouse one of them.
I don't want to screw up your system you got going with them. I didn't know if they.
I have pictures. I mean, A couple of the ones that I posted are blue, and you know, it's like an ontogenetic change thing. Like the more they go through that, the more blue they get, and it's very hormonal too. So it's not like, I don't want anyone to get it twisted. They're not like blue Barons Racer blue, but they're like this gunmetal gray that is to the eye. Like if you look at it, you're like, that's most like, if I was
like
to decide what color that is, it's
Steel blue.
blue.
Yeah.
They're like
It's kind of like a glow,
Baby-
like a blue
baby
hue
blue.
type of
kind
deal
of baby
going on.
bluish, I would say. Sort
Yeah. Like a what?
Kind of like baby bluish, grayish. Some
Yeah.
pictures I've seen, at least.
Yeah. And then
Mm.
depending on the time of year, sometimes they're just really hitting. They're like, holy shit, this is damn near as blue as a Barons. And then other times they like fire down. So it's
Okay.
very hormonal, which is interesting because I've been paying really close attention to that in recent years, because I'm like, I'm trying to figure out what makes it happen, you know, like what underlies the blue tone. And so the keyhole line that I have will produce white, yellow, green, and blue. And a lot of times when they first hatch, I label them as green and then they turn blue, or I label them as yellow and they turn white. And this is only in the first year. Like, I don't even know what they're doing 90% of the time. I sell most of them. After that, a lot of my customers do send pictures to me, so I'm able to get a better idea. And I always encourage them to share that with me so that I'm able to kind of anticipate. At this point, you know, they were born in July, so they're like 7-8 months old. And so most of them I'm able to kind of tell, you know, they're 4 times the size they were when they hatched. So I'm pretty well able to tell, but especially when people catch me like the fall that they hatch and they're like, hey, I want this. And I'm like, it's from the keyhole line. It could go any of these different, but I mean, what are you going to, I wouldn't complain about any of those colors because they all stay clean. Well, they all stay bright. I should say that they don't always stay clean. There is some stippling that happens, or newspapering they call it, where like in the middle of the scale, there's like a little black spot, which actually I think can look really cool. I have one on one.
Be pretty cool looking.
Yeah, I like that. It's like salt and pepper, you know, like they're speckly, which I think
he's got exanthic
is a
rat
whole other
snakes, Jeremy.
direction.
I'm looking at your Instagram. I'm trying to find them.
That's a whole other direction you could take. That is like the speckled ones. You could try to bring that out more, kind of like we were talking about with the long blotched.
Do you have any babies left?
Yeah, I do. I can show you some.
Yeah, you might be adding stuff to the box.
The most blue ones are going out tomorrow because they're all sold. They always sell within 2 or 3 days. But yeah, I can show you the couple blue ones.
Yeah, no, go get them, dude. I'm dying to actually see them.
Yes, please.
Look, blue's my favorite color.
So I'm going to run the last sponsor out here real quick. So just hang on here, everybody.
Head on over to Triforce Morphs if you're looking for that missing piece in your ball python breeding project. While you're there, add a little bit of laser citron to the mix, folks. John and Christine can also hook you up with the crested gecko, so don't forget that. Turn up the heat with Triforce Morphs.
If you want to use the best reptile record keeping and tracking software on the market today, scan the QR code or click our partnership link in the description down below for a free 30-day trial of Husbandry Pro. I promise you, you will not regret it.
While Joel's getting it, so just so everybody knows, next week we've got Jessica from Hair Hollow Farms coming on.
Bring your rodent game. We're going to be talking all rodents, gentlemen. All rodents.
Chris, all I know about rats, dude, is that you make them, Rick makes them, I buy them, and then I feed them to my snake.
And
you're going to learn yourself something next week.
And you charge too much.
But I'm always here for you, baby. I never say no.
I'm teasing. I'll tell you what, everyone should go check out Joel's Instagram. There's a lot of cool pictures of snakes on there.
All
everything in the description?
They are all in the description down below.
Perfect.
And if if you missed the first live with Joel, go back and check it out.
I will. I promise.
Yeah.
I think it was
Don't be weird,
2
Chris.
weeks ago. So go back, like 2 live.
I got a lot of rat cleaning tomorrow to do, so I'll be listening.
Dude, I gotta go through and start cleaning out bins from all the babies that sold from this yesterday. Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot. Celeste is throwing me a curveball, man. I don't know what the heck she
I
ate.
don't know what that thing's so cool, man.
Oh, whoa.
The hell
So
is that?
Celeste
Ate
ate
for you. Uh-oh.
She ate. I threw the ultrasound on her today. She would not sit freaking still remotely at all like she normally does for me to ultrasound her. So I couldn't really even get a decent picture to see what the hell's going on.
Was it a
The
small
only
meal?
reason- What's that? No, it
Was it a
was
small meal?
it was a medium rat.
Medium rare. All right. Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, Lagatha's still eating. Lagatha never stopped. But she's going into her prelay shed now. But she's also, if anybody's watching, I mean, Lagatha's here. Like, she's just, I don't know what her issue is. She's all over the freaking place here today. Like, I've been down here half the day, and she's just been nonstop going like crazy.
Well, keep feeding her. Keep feeding Celeste. See if she goes in the shed soon. See what happens. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Lagatha's like, I can look at her and I can tell that she's got stuff going on in her because, I mean, she's not normally that plump. But Celeste doesn't look as plump as what Lagatha does, so I don't know. So I'll have to keep you posted. But yeah, her taking that is kind of like, this isn't your normal what you did last year with me.
I don't know what that is. That's cool.
Joel, you have a blue keyhole Leonis on your morph market right now.
Yeah.
So you do still have one.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
You're holding out on me. I see what's going on here.
Put it in the box.
It was available.
No, he did say he had it. He said he just the bluer ones are going.
He said
out.
he said the best ones were gone is what he said.
So you can, yeah, this is a pretty good representation here. So this is what I would consider like a green. This is a keyhole, but it's like an aberrant one. So the keyhole thought is like the little saddle. You know, looks like there could be a key that goes in there. This one's kind of like blown out with the aberrancy. It's turning its back on the camera. But that one's like a yellowish or greenish type one. It's hard. I think this one will go green. But
yeah,
this
you can see the color difference.
Yeah, totally different.
You can see it on the camera, yeah.
Yeah.
So you can see this other one is much more bluish looking, or at least grayish blue, or
Really cool.
Darker, yeah.
Huh.
That's
They're both
really
good
cool
looking, though.
dude.
I like both the colors.
And what are they again?
these are
Don't worry
Nuevo
about it.
Leon king snakes, or variable kings, or Therai,
Huh.
or whatever you want to call
Those are
them.
my first.
And is that
eyes.
Mexico, northern Mexico, North Mexico?
Yep.
Okay.
Man, patterns on them are cool.
That's the funny thing about Nuevo Leon Kings is when I first got into them, there was like Vivid Reptiles and Robert Hansen from Sierra Herps and a couple of those people who like took it really seriously, but mostly in the hobby it was just like generic variable kings, like just kind of whatever, who the fuck cares. They're $100 a piece, and they were variable, but nobody really knew where they came from or what they really stood for. And now we've kind of traced back a lot more lineage that they're a little more special. And yeah, man, when you put the right stuff together with these, cooking with gas,
How are those as babies with feeding?
they're so fucking easy. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Not a gecko, lizard, or anything.
That's the number one thing. So not all Leonis, this bloodline specifically is so
Jim?
easy. So that's the nice thing. I've had other bloodlines, and I've pretty much phased out all the really, really hard ones. I've had Leonis that were way harder than Alterna. Like, literally half or more of your clutch would just die. Like, they wouldn't even eat a lizard. I don't know what their deal was. But I don't work with anything that's too difficult anymore. Most of my stuff is all related to this original Alaska reptile stock. And luckily, they passed that down. And so, yeah, I've got no complaints, man. the beauty's there. I mean, so easy. They're
Cool.
super docile. I mean, they're
So
gonna
it
pull their
seemed
head.
real chill.
Yeah, they won't bite ever. They don't musk ever. Yeah, they're freaking awesome. And it's just cool to watch that ontogenetic change because they're gonna turn into something different. And it doesn't matter what it is, it's still gonna be awesome. So yeah, that's mostly what my bonus collection is kind of based around right now is the Alaska line. But I do have the orange Jags. If you guys want to see those, the orange Jags are kind of my other, I guess, main thing in Leonis, which are
You just have more orange, I assume.
yeah, but they're like you see some that they start out orange and then they end up buckskin.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of common, but the line that I work with stays super, super bright. I have an adult actually I can show you.
Yeah, that's cool.
Love to see it.
You piqued my interest.
Shouldn't have said anything.
Orange, you glad?
Did you add that one to your cart, Nate?
What's that?
Did you add that Leo to your cart or the Mexican?
No, I'm going to talk to him
later. Looks like Ed's going to be building another display.
Talk about the black milks.
It's going to be infinite possible snakes soon, man.
I'm trying to find things to replace these ball pythons with.
Gotta knock that pythons off your name.
That's fun. That's pretty cool.
This thing looks a lot more dull on the camera than what I'm seeing in person, but yeah, she's bright orange. And the look you see when you look at it in person is like each scale has a stripe across it that's dark orange, and then the outer edges are like a yellower color.
Oh wow, like a tipping almost.
Yeah, it's cool. I don't know if it's better farther away or closer, but
I think it was better closer. I think
it's not brown.
Yeah, nah.
I'm in love with how the pattern on it looks. I mean, I like the color, but I'm loving the pattern on these.
Yeah, the Jag pattern is
like that's just cool looking. Like in all honesty, like that reminds me very much of like the Jag carpets.
Yep, exactly.
That pattern looks almost identical.
That pattern almost reminds me a little of a rainbow.
Yeah, that too.
Doesn't it? It kind of does with the circles.
That's true, huh?
It reminds me of like a homemade Indian poncho.
Mm-hmm.
Ponchos from the Indian Reserve.
This fucking guy.
Oh my god.
It's cool.
I hear you, Chris.
They're found from that tribe.
Completely sober people.
I might sell my Barons for too much, but I totally feel what you're saying right now.
I'm gonna send you like what the fuck.
That's it. We're gonna all
get
homemade Indian ponchos now.
Don't be mad because I think outside the box.
And which tribe would that
homemade
be?
Poncho Indian line.
The Navajo or the Nuevo?
The poncho line.
The poncho line.
I can see some Indian dude wearing a poncho with that pattern on it, though. Totally.
You better trademark that.
Yeah, look at that shit. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, that's a dead match.
I don't know about all that.
Hold on, let me give you. Right there. There it is. There it is.
Oh,
you had to put me on big screen. You did.
I know that was good. That was good. I got another color face. Hold on, I'll be right back.
All right, sweet. Let's see if this one. Let's see if this one looks like a Mexican instead of an Indian.
Is it the super poncho?
Yeah, it's gonna
A Mexican poncho, not Indian.
Yeah, like look, see, like that kind of crap.
Yeah, exactly. I know what you meant.
That's exactly what it looked like. Blue and everything.
Just wasn't rainbow.
That's exactly what it looks like.
Oh god, my freaking stomach hurts from that one.
You know what, guys? From now on, every time someone brings a snake on, we should just let Chris tell us what it looks like.
Yeah.
He can just guess.
Oh wow, that's
So
pretty
this is an
sweet.
original. This is my
Yeah.
original female blue line.
That thing's cool.
That's cool.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So
That's
you see what I mean? It's like not like fucking robin eggs blue or anything.
But it
Right.
looks like a dead zombie penis.
It's like steel. It looks like a piece of metal.
Yeah.
yeah,
Gunmetal.
it
Steel.
looks like gunmetal.
We'll
like a
call that
gunmetal
blue
blue, like you're
steel.
saying.
Yep.
We'll call
Blue
that
steel.
What's that one look like, Chris?
I already said it.
He already
What's
See,
said
it looks like a zombie penis.
A zombie.
That's pretty cool. I like
Like a
that.
dead
That's neat.
zombie penis.
Yeah, I really like how it kind of lightens up around the saddles.
Yep.
I was
Like
thinking,
almost
what color?
glows.
Cool.
What color is the inside of the saddles?
Like looks like it got bit by rats. You know, the blood's coming out. It's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool.
Yeah,
Is
it's
that like an orange or a buckskin?
yeah, it's like a light peach color.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like darker red around the edges, but then like the very inside, yeah, I guess is more like a.
Like a peachy. Okay.
And that's
Then my
just a
eyes
different-
weren't lying to me. I didn't. My eyes were- I was seeing a peachy tone, but at the same token, I wasn't trusted.
No, I like that one. I like
You can
that.
see-
That's
you
It
can
looks
see
pretty
the
blue
color.
there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
And that's just a different color of the last one. They're both the same species, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
So
Wow.
those are two different lines. The orange one is one
Right.
that I'm working that direction. The blue, I'm working this direction.
Jeez, that's
is that
crazy.
that's a blue?
This is a blue, yeah.
Oh wow, that's cool.
How
This
different
is
is
the original.
the locality origins of those?
I wish we really knew.
Yeah.
I know that they're pure Leonis because I know that Alaska Reptiles got hers from Jonelle Lopez from, what do you call it? Selective Propagations. Jonelle Lopez was the one like younger guy you just never doubted about anything. And
Pretty chill too.
Oh, super chill. Yeah.
Yeah.
Super chill. And the other line was Vivid Reptiles, which I'm sure you're familiar with from West Texas. And
I've heard of selective
a lot of-
propagation, but I've heard of that
Yeah.
name.
yeah.
Even the belly too is freaking
Oh, yeah, the
badass.
belly's-
Yeah.
That's definitely badass.
A checkering and yeah.
So a lot
Are
of
you
what,
making it? Are you making it to a Calibra Fest?
I think I probably will. Yeah.
All right, I'm trying to get out there so bad.
I
Where's
have
it at?
to.
Don't let him fool you. He can't even make it to a carpet fest that's an hour away from his house.
No, it's Carpet Fest. Calibra Fest is cooler.
Whoa! Shots
Shots
fired.
fired. Damn. Yeah.
I think it's in Indiana or Illinois this year.
Yeah. It was in Indiana last year. I thought it was in the same.
Try this.
The guy
state.
makes it to Daytona and Tinley that he doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah,
I
he'll
can't
fly
go to
there.
Daytona this year. God damn it!
He'll fly there. You
He's
won't
like the
drop
only
the
guy in the panel, like maybe other than Joel, that goes places.
I can't do Daytona. We'll be at Tinley though, October.
Well, we now know why Nate can't go anywhere because the second he sees new species of snakes, he's buying them.
Yeah.
It's the Polish power.
No, that's definitely cool. See, I thought that was like at first I thought it was like a special gray bandit or something.
They're very close.
Fort Wayne, Indiana. Thanks, James.
There you go. There you go. Okay, I'll
Fort Wayne,
bring
yeah.
you a lighter one.
Wonder how far that is.
They're cool.
I will say this. I would love to get a Calibra just to have one, but I'm not going. I have more.
We're getting you a black rat snake, man. You got the room now.
Join the
Dude,
poll.
but the room
Join
is
poll.
like taken up now, dude. Like in my head, the room is already filled.
There's always room. We'll find
Make
room.
room. Make
Oh
room.
yeah,
Get a
that's
kid
nice.
out.
Is that like
Ooh.
pyro?
Chris, this is your poncho snake right here.
Yeah, there you go. See.
Wait a minute. Isn't
What?
that it? That's American Indian, not Mexican.
Yeah. That's what I
Oh,
Oh my god.
my Indian heritage.
Oh man, it runs deep there in Philly.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
That thing is. I love that thing. That's wild.
Yeah.
Is there any like hypo or anything added to that, or can they? Is there anything in them, or it's just locality line bred?
Yeah, we've got nothing other than melanistic. That's the only recessive
Okay.
or any sort of mutation that we know about.
Yeah, there's some guy in the one Colubrid chat I'm in that has some of them melanistic ones. They're wild. I think
Their
Baron
stats
has a
are
few
cool,
of them.
man. Look at the head.
Yeah, that is
Got like
neat.
a bow on the head. Bow with a mustache.
Yeah, that's the fun part is the head stamp.
Yeah.
Nah, they're sick, man.
I would say that.
I think, Joel, do you agree that maybe some of these lines of king snakes people don't recognize because so many king snakes aren't the greatest pets? Like because they look at a California king and
Or a
they think
speckled king.
and they think that's king snake, right? And they don't
100%.
realize that
Yes.
there are king snakes that are so not that.
No,
Yes.
They're literally the opposite of that.
Yep, 100%. I have people come to my tables, or they message me on Instagram or Morph Market. They're like, "I want a king snake, but I want a colubrid, or I want a snake, but I do not want a king snake." And I'm like,
Right.
"Why?"
Yeah.
And they're like,
Right.
"Because my friend had a cow
Sister's
king,
friend's aunt.
or an MBK or whatever." And so I always have to make this distinction, and this is really important for people who don't necessarily understand the Lamprepeltis family. Is there's a genus called Jatula or Gatula, if you want to call it that. Those are the common king snakes. So those are Florida kings, Eastern kings, which don't always behave that badly. Then you go to MBKs, cow kings, speckle kings. And speckle kings. I think that's all of them.
Yeah.
They all have a tendency to be kind of assholes. Their cloaca is pretty much wide open anytime you're interacting with them. So they're just spraying you with musk, and anytime you're holding them, they're gonna just start sniffing you and be like, "Oh, actually," just start gnawing on your finger for no fucking reason. And not one of these Mexicana or Montane kings will do that. None of them. I've never had it.
I think that's one of the big draws. Like, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, imagine that with Jeremy." I've always wanted a California king just because of the black and white. I love the way they look. The thing that stops them with them again is what you were just saying. Is that's all I hear about is they'll just randomly start chewing on you. It's a shit show as soon as you pull them out. Basically, it's just like I don't want to deal with that.
These are not like that. They're
I think it depends on the individual.
It does for sure. You can. There's
Individual.
exceptions to the rule. Definitely.
My MBKs never tried to eat me. Did they musk when they were small? Yeah, a little bit here and there. But you know what? After a year or 8 months of being in the routine, never musked, and they never tried to bite me. But to each his own, right?
So you're saying the one I gave
mosaic typos are sweet there.
He did for maybe 3 months when I got him out, and now he's cool. He doesn't musked in 2 years, a year and a half.
Well,
Yep.
maybe we'll take him back then.
All right, you can have him back. He's the only one I got left. He's just hanging out, eating rats. I have no girl for him.
Now, breeding them, do you have to worry about them eating each other?
Yeah, Jason's just asking that now. Yeah.
Yes, to a certain extent, you do have to worry about it. So I've been breeding Leonis for 12 or 13 years, and I can think of 2 times I've had one kill the other.
Twice.
It was always the female that killed the male, and it was only because I got so comfortable seeing.
What is that?
It's a Goinai, you guys. It's a mosaic king.
Oh.
Or a means eye, technically, but
Yeah,
they call him Goinai. Barchek would call that a Goinai all day.
Yeah.
All these guys babies and just fell in love with them.
Pretty.
Yeah, they're nice.
Definitely. John's
I had
holding
the regular going. I had one of them before. They're like a speckled animal, right?
Watch your finger. Watch your finger.
Yo, hey, none of that warning shit.
I'm so
My fingers are safe.
Don't warn him. Let that thing bite him.
Oh, dude, it would just gnaw me. I'd be like, you son of a bitch.
So what? Is that one known to do it too, though? Like,
No, it hasn't, but the other one does. This one never has, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Look at the belly, man. It's got like an acid belly.
That's pretty wild.
It's dope. They're so cool.
Yeah.
But gotta watch your fingers.
I'd
The only
be
problem.
shocked if this one bit me. I'd be like, holy shit, I've been 3 years for like almost with this.
But you
Yeah,
have another one
Ted,
just
Ted.
like it that does bite you?
Yeah, she goes nutty.
You made my point.
Give me a kiss.
Oh, you're 100%. That's why I pulled it out. I was like, I want to see.
Okay, good. They're beautiful though.
They're beautiful, but like I said, they will do everything you were just talking about.
Absolutely.
I love Mountain Kings. Like I said, I have a couple over with Nate right now too. Like we have a couple mountains. But yeah, they're fun.
You breed king rats too, Joel?
I wish. No Carinata here.
No, all right. I was looking at them. I seen some in Daytona, man. I almost pulled the trigger. I think they were albino, right? They have albinos and hypos, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah,
I think
I don't
there's
think
a
they're
pattern.
patternless. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw them, and like, they were just impressive. I was like, oh, like the head scales, the subcutaneous and whatnot. I was like, oh, it looks like a warrior.
They're like dry Marcon almost.
Yes, yeah. So that's another one. Have you worked with them?
I have, yeah, and I've had terrible luck.
Oh, no kid. I just have a single male as a pet right now, just kind of raising them up nice and slow. I want to get a female, but I'm waiting for somebody in our group to breed them, and I'm going to get one of his and just kind of slow roll it, they're a pretty cool species.
I had a really cool black-tailed Crebo that was, I think, when we measured her, I did a YouTube video on it. She was like 8'4" or something, and like 12 or 14 pounds, something like that. She was
wow.
And I got her from a guy who had been feeding her mostly chicken legs for years and years and years. So she looked healthy and everything was good. I fed her a roadkill grouse one time. I cut it in half. So I just gave her like the breast, just half a grouse. She ate that. It was still warm. So I knew it was totally good to go. And then we were at a reptile show and they had this funny little, like they had these troughs set up with water so you could like hand catch trout. And these idiots who did this didn't bring enough oxygen tanks to keep the trout alive. So they just started going belly up and dying. And so I fed my black-tailed Crebo like a 12-inch rainbow trout right there at the show, like just live in front of like 100 people. And took it down, no problem. Yeah, it was so, dude, that snake was so cool.
Damn.
That snake was so cool. And I've heard about people saying that dry Marcon can like recognize their owners and they're like more sentient and more like aware than most snakes. And I always called bullshit on that. I always thought that was stupid. But at that show is when it changed my mind, because I would hand this snake off to a sea of people and then I would go to the other end of the crowd, like 30 yards away. And that snake would constantly make its way like straight through their hands to me and stop, and then I would do it again and go to the other side, and it would just come straight to me. It was wild.
That's fucking cool. That's awesome.
And I have videos of our kid at like age 3 just sitting on the couch with this snake and just like scratching its chin, just coiled up in his lap. Like she probably weighed more than him at that point. It was insane. It was such a cool snake. Oh, I miss her bad.
Yeah.
But eating all that poultry wasn't the move, because I did on her and she was just loaded with chicken fat. So she needed a lot more rodents. And I obviously, once I got her, I was doing my due diligence to give her.
The damage was done though by the time you got her.
Yeah,
it's a shame.
So I had a pair of black-tailed Crebos before that, and I don't know if something was wrong with them when I got them. I kind of don't think so. I talked to Alan Brutowski from East Coast Dry Marcon, and he said that it's kind of common for them to poop in their water and then go back and drink it. And that can just be kind of a dead sentence. They just go through it, they poop, and then if you're not on top of it within 15 minutes, they drink that shit, and that's what happened to mine is they would still eat. They still seemed okay, but they just got skinnier and skinnier and skinnier, and their poop got weirder and weirder, and regurged and died. And
that sucks. Hey, blow John up real quick. I want to see that snake.
What's you got now?
Scaleless corn.
Scaleless.
Oh,
Oh,
it looked like the same freaking one he had. That's why I
As I
didn't.
said, that's pretty.
Yeah.
Dude.
I like the striping. I like how they do that. It's
Like
it's
a
like a long blotch
tri-stripe.
gray band, actually. What scaleless corns do? They have that big nuchal blotch
Yeah, look at that.
instead of like
is
saddles.
Nate, is that from your first pairing?
Yes.
Yeah,
Nice.
Ready.
Is anybody breeding them yet this year?
mine are coming out of formation this
Okay.
week.
I'm still not
Sweet.
sure if we're gonna breed that one pair we have.
And Chris,
see
by
this.
the way, I'm breeding for the first time the offspring together.
So we should see some A-male scaleth. Nice.
Cool.
Very cool. Very cool.
I have an Xanthix Tessera, whatever. Xanthix is it? It's supposed to be-
Tannery.
right.
Tannery, yeah.
Yeah, Annery.
Nice.
Nice. That'd be a sweet. It's not scaleless, is it, John?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, sweet.
And that's a powerhouse. Yeah.
Hell yeah. That'll be neat.
Yeah, I think I have 4 scaleless ones. I do like these. Like I've all like the Kluber
Yeah.
I have had over the years. These things are cool. I love it. I'm digging them ones he's showing tonight. I had a Therai when I first started.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. And back then, like you said, it was almost 12, 13 years ago. Everybody called it like they were considered like trash snakes. They were like cheap. So I never really went anywhere with it.
And now in the last 2 years, that's probably what I've made most of my money on, honestly, out of all species. They're just gone.
I always thought they were like so cool.
Crazy. Which is funny because even like against gray bands, which are, I have a huge following. I mean, gray bands have a huge following. Anybody
They're
who
cool. They're so
Good.
pretty.
gray
Gray
band
Bill's probably number 2 on my list of
Yeah.
Bluebirds I would love to
Yeah.
have.
That bright orange. Oh yeah. Sweet.
Gray bands
Good. Glad to
are-
hear it, James.
Gray bands are one of those species that are tough to get started, though, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hands down. It depends on the bloodline, though. I do have a couple bloodlines that are really not that bad. But I've got one locality specific pairing that always seems to do pretty well in mice. But other than that, only the generic ones seem to do pretty well. Otherwise, it's just what I'm going through with all my other species. So it's no different. I've got 36 snakes that I'm force feeding right now.
Jeez.
I've got another 40 that are on lizard scented right now. So
Fingers looking good.
Nah, this
Did
one's
those gray bands like to stay a little bit cooler, Joel? The alterna, like that's a gray
then
band,
like
right?
a cow king or then my other species?
No, like the alterna, they're the gray bands, right?
Yes, but are you saying do they like to stay cooler than like a cow king, or do they like to stay cooler than my other Mexicana and Montaigne stuff?
Just cooler than like a cow, like a normal king,
Yeah,
like say a Mexican black or something like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay.
Yep. I have one Apalachicola king, and I know that guy likes to stay a lot warmer.
Okay.
But yeah, all my other stuff, I have one cow king. I have my lifer cow king that I caught. I kept her because it was an epic capture. I just couldn't leave her there. I actually lost my gun, dude. I had my gun in my waistband, and I got out of the car because I'd just be real gangster like that. Got out, and I had
Hold
this
it sideways.
Saturday night special gun in my waistband, and I got out, and the gun got loose, and I got the snake. So, but yeah.
I like your passion for the snake. I appreciate that.
Yeah, shout out El Dorado County, California. Hit me up as soon as you guys find that.
Is that a Tessera albino?
This is a Tessera Snow.
No.
I don't know about that, but
That's wild. That pattern is wild.
I did report my weapon missing, just so everybody knows. Every single year, they send me a letter, and they're like, "Did you find your gun yet?" I'm like, "Did you find my fucking gun yet?"
Did you find my gun yet? Yeah, exactly.
I'm not there. That's hilarious.
That thing's wild. That's cool.
So this is head scale, so we'll see what happens with it eventually.
Okay, nice.
Is that a girl?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've been jonesing to pick up a rat snake so bad.
I'm collecting a Kluber a little bit here and there. Like I said, I love all snakes. So
This whole time, John probably like, you fucking assholes telling us none of us speak colubrid. And he's like, I got a whole rack.
I got some.
I know, he's holding
And
out.
same with Nathan, like, I know what I'm talking about. Chris.
I don't know what I'm talking about. That's the bitch with the cleaver. I'm like, you've been very informative. They were cool looking. I was like, oh, scalers, you know. I definitely don't claim to know much about them.
It's always good to hear things again. Even me hearing things and learning about the different species, man. It's always good to either just listen, and even if you do know, to listen again, or just different little things. That's why I ask so many questions about the different species.
I'm a snake lover, but I'm a ball python breeder. Like if you ask me about ball pythons, I'm gonna tell you A to Z what to do or how to do it. I've been doing it forever. Colubrids I haven't really messed with. I started on them. I played with them. I made a couple king snakes in the beginning, cow kings and whatever, Brooks kings and stuff like that. Got into pythons again because, like I said, and then I always loved the colubrids though. Even hognoses. I got like 6, 7 hognoses. I always say 6 or 7 because I have one for sale. I hate them. But
you want another gecko?
What's that?
You want another crested gecko?
Fuck no. And then we had those little stupid things. Yeah, I have a bunch of them. But anyway, I'm just a reptile lover. But I love hearing about all this colubrids, how you doing them, like all the cooling down locales and freaking where you're finding them and showing different color banding and
the fucking wild caught shit. That's cool.
Yeah,
I'm everything reptile.
That's fun.
So
if I'm not breeding it, I love to hear about it. So
Joel, we've been once again back to all the colubrid stuff, but you do breed ball pythons.
Yeah,
like the rest of us, right?
I do.
So,
yes.
So what are you in? Like, what are your projects? What are your things with the ball pythons that you're into?
Hypo puzzle is my number one thing. I fucking think hypo puzzle is the shit.
The Ultra Bell puzzle was nice.
Yeah, I made a black pastel hypo puzzle this year.
Oh wow!
I got lucky, dude. I was breeding a black pastel hypo het puzzle to a het puzzle.
Do you have that snake?
She ended up being double
het
het.
hypo.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I fucking hatched that on the first go around.
You have that available to sell?
Yeah, for sure.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I'm not gonna lie, dude. We got back from a vacation. I was like real hungover when I cut the clutch, and I was like the fucking.
Thought you were
it was the middle of summer, like just sun beating down. I was outside. I was like, this is fucking hypo puzzle. What am I looking at? Like,
the two of my favorite words, hypo and black pastel, and puzzle just has to be cool.
Oh, I love it.
Dude,
That's a
I
big
let me
fave.
grab it.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, stick that in the box too for Nate.
I still got black pastel hypo to this day, and I still get excited.
Put my name on it though.
So Nate, how many snakes are you gonna have Joel ship now?
I'm gonna plead the fifth.
Joel, you want to
black pastel
bang?
hypo back? That's pretty fucking cool with puzzle.
Joel,
Just send it over here,
like
Nathan.
bang gene?
Well, I already know black pastel and freaking bang. It works freaking wonders. So
Yeah, that it does.
Black pastel bang hypo.
You can use his pay for last week to pay for your snakes for this week. So
I'm digging that blue tape. I wonder what it says.
one genetic I don't have now. One of my collection is puzzle.
Oh my god.
oh shit.
It's as cool as I fucking thought. God damn it.
Damn it, that is fucking cool.
I was hoping you throw it out and be like, it kind of sucks.
Look at the side on that thing.
I hope you're doing a repeat pairing.
I am.
Oh,
Yep.
fuck that, dude. That thing's
Absolutely.
sick.
God.
Look at that one one stripe
Boy or
almost a
girl?
quarter of the way down.
I got a black pastel puzzle male het for hypo out of it too.
Nice.
Nice.
Is that a boy or girl?
This is a girl, unfortunately. I wish it was a male. But that's all right.
Be happy it's a girl in a couple years from now.
Yeah.
Big girl.
You might be whatever today, but freaking 2 years from now, you're like, fuck yeah, man.
Oh, dude. She's the one who gets all the leftovers of
Fuck yeah.
everything. Yeah. So yeah, I had some people buying a snake here on Friday, and they were buying a snake, and it was like, I don't know, 135 grams or something like. Well, our other one is a 2024, and it's 400 grams, and I was like, well, what month? And they were like, it was born the same month as yours, November. I was like, how? I was like, dude, this thing was born in like July or something. I've been feeding it like crazy. Like I'm like, I don't know about that, buddy. Like
people talk shit, don't they? They're just like,
There's a lot of false advertisement out there.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, she's gonna fucking shoot. She's gonna shoot shit
Yeah, she is.
That's beautiful.
Mhm.
There's
Puckering.
people. Yeah.
That's
Oh
a
yeah.
cool ass snake, though.
No,
That's
that's awesome.
beautiful.
I'm not a big puzzle
Congrats.
guy because I'm like, it doesn't do a ton for me, but it does work in certain combos, and that's a combo it works in.
Oh, dude. I saw a pastel triple het DGA Xanthic puzzle for sale yesterday. DGA Xanthic puzzle, dude, that's going to look fucking...
Oh, but
Was it VPI though?
It was. Sorry.
Yeah, that's a
I was gonna say,
shame.
I was gonna say that had to be VPI.
Yeah, nobody has
I have an
TSKs like
Xanthic
that
puzzle. You
yet.
want to see that?
The TSK to have something like that, man.
I just want to put, I want puzzle because I want to put cryptic in it. I want to see if they're fucking allelic.
Somebody's got to prove that out this year.
You know, somebody's got to do it. Like, I don't have any puzzle to do it with.
I could do it this year.
This is one not many people have.
Oh,
I have the
Okay.
VPI Xanthic puzzle. This is the most expensive snake I bought last year.
There you go,
That's
Jeremy.
pretty.
Isn't that
I
dope?
like that.
Yeah, that's
That
sick.
is nice.
Really cool.
All right,
Look
you
at
changed my
Hey,
mind
look
on
out.
that puzzle. Two snakes. You changed my mind.
Turn her this way.
All right.
Dude, imagine the
That's
tree
neat.
goes.
Puzzle's cool.
Oh, I know. Let's see the
I
eye
haven't-
strike.
I haven't seen the right puzzles. That's all there is to it.
Well, if you had DG, would that be like the Holy Ghost?
Yeah. Shit,
Yeah.
that's
I
like
think
that.
That's a cool
nice.
name.
I like that name. They got the Grail. That's
Yep, the Holy
the next
Grail.
logical progression.
Holy
That
Ghost.
thing is
Sick ass
sweet.
name for that.
Isn't that dope?
That's
Yeah.
sick.
yeah.
It's really
That's
cool.
weird, but why isn't it brown like Jeremy's?
Oh, wow.
You know what, Nate? You know what? I like you.
Mm.
I would put you backstage, but
I just muted him, so
And then he picked him right off. Jeremy doesn't have brown puzzles. He doesn't have any options.
Wow.
I was about to say something all stupid about putting him backstage like mute.
I just muted him. Bloop.
I'll teach him.
Who produced that, Joel?
J&K's VPI Xanthics in Chicago area.
What was the name again? It blacked out.
J&K's VPI Xanthics.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's big as fucking.
They're a small operation, but
Yeah.
the funny thing is, I bought this snake, and as soon as it hit the market, I was like, I've got to have it.
Yeah, dude.
And then I was listening to the whole back rack because I know you're on there.
Oh, lights
shit.
out. Lights out.
And this guy, was it 403 Fauna or somebody else?
Yeah,
who works? Yeah, he was like, he was talking to what's her name? Anyway, the podcast host, and he's like,
Jessica.
thank you. He's like, I produced an Xanthic puzzle, and I'm gonna sell it. He's like, the last one sold for $6,500, and it sold like overnight. So I think I'm gonna post mine for like $7,000. And so the whole time I'm listening to it, I'm like, yeah, that was me. I'm that idiot who just paid it right out the gate. So, yeah, it was pretty fun.
Nice. Yeah,
He
Mark.
sold this
For
thing,
whatever he asked. So
Yeah, he got lucky hitting that thing.
damage with.
No,
a good
that's
one.
awesome.
That is
Hell yeah,
sweet.
that's awesome.
That'll
cool
be
looking
stick with DG in it.
Uh-huh.
Yep. DG or hypo or both.
DG hypo. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got more puzzles if you want to see more puzzles.
Yeah, man. Virginia coming.
Yeah,
That's my
see a
main,
couple
that's my
more.
main thing in ball pythons. But
You got a ball crowd here.
Show your balls.
makes me think I need to get rid of a different recessive project and grab some puzzle.
Hey, we're seeing it works in some shit pretty good.
Mhm.
Yeah. The pattern's really cool, man. I mean,
Yeah, it takes all stretches and crazy.
yeah.
I think the pattern is what makes it works, so it makes it look nice with Xanthic. Like for me anyway, like because I think tri-stripe Xanthics look badass too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
I lied. This one's not puzzle, but it was the world's first, and I'm pretty stoked on it. It's a Super GHI Super Phantom Hypo.
No, sweet.
Oh.
Looks pretty
How
dope.
the hell did they name that Super Phantom with that stripe like that?
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
I did
like,
not, because it would go like it would white it all out, and then Super GHI just brought it all
I
back.
can see the Super GHI, but Super Phantom would confuse me because I would think it would turn more of the Phantom color than it would the GHI color, right?
Mhm.
Like
That
do more
cheap,
phantom
guys.
striping because super phantom, like whatever, all them jeans that usually cover everything.
John, you know what I'm thinking right now.
Yeah, I thought yours could have been
Bro,
way back
there's
when.
no side pattern on that snake.
Well, my black pastels do that too, Nate. Like when
There's a
GHI
little
hits,
bit. There's a little bit of bubble in there.
yeah, when GHI hits, especially in like a super form GHI with a Phantom or Mojave, it does that crazy shit.
Yeah.
Nate, are you thinking about the two animals that you and I both have?
Yeah, you guys, something definitely in them fucking crazy GHIs you guys got, but
Yeah.
I'll show you clutch mate.
is that one Ghost?
Yeah, it was a hypo too.
Yeah, he said it was hypo.
Looks very similar.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I'm thinking.
Oh
This
yeah.
one's just hyper super GHI.
Jeez.
That's only a super GHI? The hypo?
That's wild with hypo.
Bro, that looks leopard as leopard all get out.
Yeah, and it looks better than the other one, honestly.
That pink pattern screams leopard.
Isn't that awesome?
It is awesome.
That is
There's no leopard
sweet.
in it because I produce both parents.
That's sick.
Yeah, I think leopard would intensify the blacks a little bit more, I think.
Yeah.
And definitely fuck up the pattern, but jeez.
Super GHI, I was surprised it's that pinched. That's sick.
Well, I hear a lot of people saying stuff about Super GHI being like weak or
no.
small.
How'd he do?
Awesome. This thing's a
Good.
fucking beast.
I heard that really recently too about Super GHI. Yep. I was like, who the fuck is saying this stuff?
But I made a few.
I forget who said that. That said Super GHI is like
I've heard nothing but good shit about Super GHI.
The only person I've heard saying that is MJ from Trap Talk. That's the only person.
I don't know, man.
I have not heard anyone else say anything bad about
I've had a couple Super GHIs over here. They were all decent.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But I will get a puzzle now since I said
GHI is one of the best mutations in the ghost. Like if you want a crazy ghost combos, GHIs are sick.
Yeah, the GHI clown almost already looks hypo, man. The way the gray sides and that tone. It's so soft.
You're right.
It's just a hype, just like black pastel. It's meant for hypo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Them dark genetics work so well with the orange ghost and hypo genes and all whatever.
Nice normal
leopard puzzle.
This is black pastel puzzle hypo.
Oh wow!
What?
Nice normal.
It looks so weird.
Yeah, it almost it doesn't look that influential.
That's a classic jungle.
That's a hidden jungle Woma.
No, that's cool as shit.
Puzzles just look weird if they don't have pastel because they all have pastel.
Yep. For the most part, yeah, exactly.
Hold the fuck up.
Where do you see a black pastel though?
Damn.
I've got normal puzzles and they don't look like this.
Yeah.
And black pastel was in the pairing. So and I asked Corey Woods, and Corey Woods told me it was black pastel based on. So I thought it might be het red axanthic.
Yeah.
Because HRA was in the pairing too, and he's like, "Dog, that's black pastel." So if Corey Woods told me that, I'm going.
Well, hold on. If was HRA on the other side of the black pastel?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be one or the other then.
Yeah.
Exactly. So either way.
I would go lean way more HRA than black pastel, but still.
That's what I labeled it as.
Yeah,
for sure. That's what I labeled it as. But
the other one you showed with the hypo and all, like, was like that's black pastel. Like,
see that
chain linking and the
right.
This one has no none of that bubbles down the side or anything. Or
but
the color
doesn't
like.
But you know who pioneered HRA, right?
Yeah. I
Corey Woods, yeah.
So
I don't know, man.
That's wild.
Who cares? It's fucking
I know.
cool.
I will.
Yeah.
There is a test for both those genes.
There is.
If you really wanted to know.
He's a puzzle.
Jeremy's got a good discount.
Put them together.
Carpet 15. Carpet 15.
Start popping out them gargoyles and shit. You'll know. You're like, oh.
Is that a boy or a girl?
This is a boy. I need to check, dude. I think I actually did test. I think I did shed test this one. I need to double check. I think I did shed test it.
That's mine.
That's wild.
That's cool.
No, it doesn't look like what you think.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
But it's still a fucking badass pattern. Like it's
absolutely.
Still like that's the problem with puzzles sometimes is you lose a little bit of like the puzzleness. But I like that this one still maintains.
I thought that was a leopard all day. Jesus Christ.
Trojan did the same thing to me when I bred it to a onyx. I got a Trojan Black Pastel Enchi and a Trojan Het Red Xanthic Enchi, and like the Het Red Xanthic looked nothing like I would have thought it should look. It threw me for a loop, but it has to be the HRA with the Onyx.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So I have a red Axanthic. This is a visual red Axanthic puzzle.
From Corey.
Huh. Yeah, I would think that was like a pewter or something. Pewter puzzle.
Definitely has pastel, right?
No.
No pastels?
Yes. Sorry. Yes. It does.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
Yes, it is pastel.
Red Xanthic puzzle. That's it?
That's it.
Nice. That's wild. Yeah, the ton of them.
It's killer.
I know, right?
Neat.
Yeah, it's
Is
pretty.
that a breeder girl?
She was for him. Hopefully she will be for me.
Nice.
Nice.
Dude, I'm wondering about Yellow Belly though.
That belly is pretty wild.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It could be the puzzle influence with a super, though. You know.
True.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Do you know what the pairing was for? Or did you get that info?
Yes, I did. I don't have it handy. I'd have to look.
Well, I'm just saying for possibility.
Yeah.
If you know, if you do pair, yeah, see what it was. See if there was yellow belly in the pairing.
I got one
That's
more that's
pretty.
really interesting. So he sold this one to me as super pastel puzzle. It looks fucking hypo to me.
It does.
Yeah.
Like, how is it? I have a actually. I have
What's
a
the head stamp look like?
I have a super pastel puzzle.
I'd fucking put money that's hypo. Look at them blacks.
It looks hypo as fuck.
It looks way hypo.
If it's not hypo, that super pastel really did something to them blacks.
That is pretty soft.
Yeah, it's het. He told me it's het orange ghost or hypo.
Oh no,
Right.
But it looks visual.
That's hypo.
It looks visual to me.
Somebody fucked up. That's a hypo.
Do you think that the head stamp would be less darker if it was visual hypo though? It would be a little bit more blushed out.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Damn, I don't know though, man.
That is
Oof.
hypo.
I mean, looking at
as
the
a
back pattern, like
Yeah, the pattern looks all day hypo.
it's.
The only thing that's throwing me off is the head stamp.
that real soft.
Let me show you
black.
I have another super pastel puzzle. Hold on. And it's het DG.
That's wild. Dude, if that thing was hypo, sheesh.
Yeah.
Thank God pastel looks good in puzzle with it being a super. I mean, it's not the end of the world.
So
Yeah,
this is
especially if
super
he's going to pair
pastel-
that Xanthic puzzle.
super pastel puzzle het DG, and this looks
Oh,
hypo.
wow.
This one doesn't.
Yeah, look how dark the blacks are on his head and on
Yeah.
his head in your right hand. The outline of the blacks, and on the left hand, there's like nothing. Jeez. Man, yeah.
Pretty sure
Well,
it's hypo.
they make a test for that too.
True, they do.
That's wild.
Throw that black pastel boy to that one too.
Yeah, he's a girl. The black pastel's a girl. Oh, the black
No,
pastel.
the
girl.
male- the
Crazy
dad to
little
that.
thing, Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh.
Puzzle time.
Yeah.
Got that puzzle attitude.
Yep.
Have any of you guys seen a DG puzzle in person yet?
Not in person,
I
no.
haven't either. I want to see one so fucking bad. I bet they're so awesome.
I wonder if anybody will have any in March at Tinley.
Dude, DG puzzles. Holy shit.
You said the Xanthic puzzle's a boy, right?
It's a girl.
That's a girl too.
I would have bought a boy. if I
All
could.
right.
Yeah, no. I was gonna say that'd be a great male for her.
Right. So I'm going true ghost with her.
Okay.
No, I'm not on the team.
I can if you want.
Oh, I got a DG hypo mail I'll send you.
I have a
Go
DG
right to the,
hypo. Dude, I don't know
go
what
right
to
to
do.
the holy. God, quad heads, jeez.
You want some barons?
They've only got 4 more years to go till they can breed.
Yeah, you got like 7 years though.
Well, to be fair, you're feeding them twice a week. I feed mine once at best. So
Yeah, I do Wednesday, Sunday.
yeah, dude, you're warp speed compared to most people. Most colubrid breeders are like every 5 to 10 days, somewhere in there. I've got 1,000 of these fucking things. Like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
Especially if you're like a field herper or something like that. You can't be on no strict schedule of every 7 days.
No.
Exactly. Like, Chris, am I right?
Yeah, no, there's no fucking schedule. I feed when I can feed.
Yep. And they do great. Like, and I actually think it's advantageous in a lot of cases where they're like, I'll take it where I can get it, instead of like this, structured thing where they're like, I get this hungry, and then finally, and then I'm like, I kind of too hungry. Like, I honestly think it's better to do kind of like anywhere in between
Wing
5
it.
and
Just
More
wing it.
sporadic,
I guess, yeah, if you want to call it that.
Spontaneous.
I definitely like to focus a little bit more attention on the hatchling and holdback colubrids that I want to keep, because they will grow faster and do a little bit better with more repetitive meals. So I'll focus a little bit more on them. But after a year and a half, then it's kind of like, all right,
Well,
you might eat 6 times 1 month and you might eat once the next month. It just happens sometimes like that. But you definitely want to be on top of it.
Yeah, that's the plan. After a year old, I'm gonna probably like once a week or something.
They ain't making it a year. Get the fuck
You're
out
gonna
of
switch
here.
them to rats.
They're gonna be over at Nathan's. Like,
They'll be
you're
at Nate's by the end of the month.
I'm gonna
Pads of
try and
butter.
keep them on. I'm gonna try and keep them on soft furs. Honestly.
Yeah, I would definitely.
Yeah, they've been taking fuzzy soft furs.
Keep rotating
Like
and just give them a little
small.
varied diet. Have you ever tried quail or anything with yours, Joel?
Actually, yes. I think I have given them a couple quail.
Okay. I'm sure they'd eat them, the buttons and whatnot, some of the
they
day
do.
olds and whatnot. Yeah. They eat
Yeah, I
anything.
have actually. I was gonna say no right out the gate, and then I was like, hold on.
Don't eat me, man.
But I will say, just like dry marcon, their shit was disgusting. Their shit was so oily.
Chicken poo and fish poo,
There were like pin feathers and shit in it. And yeah. They don't digest it super well, but they'll eat it. Yes, I do remember that actually now.
I heard like people that feed like chicks and stuff, man. It's just the poop's nasty.
Chicks are cheap, bro. 25 cents a piece.
I get that.
Yeah.
They're probably not cheap now with egg prices.
My labor is expensive though.
The knockoffs are still cheap.
I know there at the show, Scotty had a box full of chicks there and packing up. I'm like, and I stopped. I looked at Scotty. I was like, "Do you hear like a freaking peeps or something?" I was like, "I started going fucking nuts." And like, he looked at me and shows me this box. I'm like, listen. It's like, yeah, it's coming from there.
I told my quail story, man. I'll never, ever, ever feed quail again. No fucking way, man.
Does he get them for his mangroves still?
Yeah, they're too damn cute, man. I'm freaking pulled it out. I'm waiting for this ugly little hairless bird.
Oh no!
Fucking thing's all cute, fool. Like, hey, little guy, fucking. No, why I can't feed this fucking.
They're like
my little buddies.
Oh, dude, it was so terrible, dude. I lost sleep for like a week after that fucking quail feeding. My wife was fucking disturbed for a month.
Do you do any other python species or boas, Joel, or just ball pythons?
I do rubber boas.
Oh. You don't see them often.
Yeah, I haven't produced a single one yet, but I'm working on it.
All right.
They're hard, dude. They're weird.
Those are hard. Period.
They're a strange animal.
I
They're
bet.
so fucking cool. So I originally had a pair from Corvallis, Oregon, and they were supposed to be like the more rock solid ones. So like the more coastal ones on like the California and Oregon and Washington coast are supposed to be like pretty readily accepting of lab mice, which they were. Then the Intermountain ones. So there's what is his name? Ryan Hoyer, and his dad. What is his dad's name? Richard Hoyer. He wrote the literal book on rubber boas, and he actually got busted. He was associated with the university at the time, and it was like this weird situation where like he shouldn't have gotten in trouble, but he did get in trouble. He had like 250 rubber boas. He wrote this big book on it. And so there's a lot of good information there, but the fact is the intermountain species or the intermountain clade of rubber boas is just a lot harder because they like what's the kind of there's like a pica or like a pack mouse or some specific species of mouse that they only want to eat.
Really?
Yeah, so the key is to like put the babies down in a brumation, never offer them anything, and then there's all sorts of stupid, crazy tricks to get them going, like putting them in the bedding of these weird wild mice, and then like putting them in like a deli cup of water with a bunch of pinkies in there, and they'll like get trapped and like have to eat their way out, and then it's wild.
These are the ones you're working with?
It sounds like a fucking hassle.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna have you back on in about a year or two. I want to hear about this.
It's a live action puzzle, man.
Got to make a fucking pinky soup.
Yeah. So for whatever, yeah, I think that's what you do. You deprive them of water for like 10 days, and then you give them water, but like a small amount, and then you like lace pinkies in there.
Forces them to eat the pinkies almost.
Yeah. They'll be drinking, and then they'll get to a pinky and they're like, oh, fuck it, I guess I'll eat that. And yeah, I'd have to go back, dude. There are so many tricks that I've forgotten half of them because mine aren't up to size yet, so I'm not really worried about it right now. My Oregon locale ones didn't end up doing well. They had some. I mean, crypto would be the best like approximation that I could give it. They had like a big old like hard belly, and like they just couldn't digest anything, and so they ended up dying, unfortunately. But I've collected a couple of locale specific ones here in Pocatello, and as long as you get them really, really small when they're like pink still, like a worm, then they've done really, really well. And so I've got a pair. I've got two females now. I have a male that I collected 3 miles from my house, which is insane because I do not live in boa habitat at all. But we were on a razor ride just looking for like gopher snakes and night snakes. They're really rare too. I found the only 2 here since 1959, but they're here. And so we were just looking for those, or 1964, something like that. Anyway, and there's a fucking rubber boa just chilling in the road. We're like, dude, it's just sagebrush. Like they like timber and like high elevation. And so anyway, I scooped him up. We'll see if he eats. If he doesn't eat by spring, he's brumating right now. If he doesn't eat by spring, I'll just let him back go where he was. And
that's why.
But yeah, I really hope to. But it's the same thing. They're specific to my location, and the laws are stupid about captive bred stuff. So I'll just gift them or whatever if I ever produce any. Which that's what it is. Like, you know, the Utah milk thing, same thing. Like I know I'm never going to make money off 90% of this stuff. I just want it to be available so that people don't get a hot tip on like a rock pile or a location and just go and take everything they can because they can't find it on the market. You know what I mean? Like, I think there is something to be said about just like, I don't know why anybody would do that if they're available for $200 online, you know?
Right.
Because you see people literally drive hundreds of miles or thousands of miles to go and collect stuff because it's not available. But if it's available, dude, think about the cost of the gas, the hotels. Like, it's not worth doing, you know?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, it's neat breeding those other species just to get that experience and that little. Doesn't matter what the species is. Just when you propagate another species and see them babies come out of the eggs and the challenge of working with them, it's definitely one of the things I enjoy the most about this.
Yep, exactly. So, yeah, if you can give them to people who are passionate about them for free, it's whatever. I collected a little yellow belly racer in the backyard one day, not realizing. Like I didn't collect it. I put it in a deli cup because I still had a full-time job. So I came home, like mowed my lawn during lunch or whatever. I almost ran over this snake. So I put it in a deli cup so I could photograph it later. And when I came back home and it had pooped out a moth. And I was like, what the hell? I was like, I didn't know these things ate moths. That's crazy.
They say, copperheads eat cicadas.
Yeah, exactly. So it makes sense. But this was like 7 years ago when I don't think anybody knew that. Honestly, I was like mind blown. I was like, that's freaking
That is cool.
Yeah, I don't know who it was, but somebody was talking about like some of the either Malaysian vipers or pit vipers. It might have been Ben Cole talking about it on one of MJ's about how they the natives were talking about how they would just snatch up big moths out of the air and eat them. You know, just anything that flies by is a fucking target at that point.
And same with green trees. I think we're learning more and more that they eat insects. And especially if you go to Southeast Asia or Northern Australia, these insects are meaty. they got some good nutrients in there. Not like a dusty ass moth in my backyard.
Yeah, right. It's equivalent to a freaking the calcium's equivalent to a mouse.
For real.
That's wild.
Yeah, absolutely. So what kind of ball python projects do you guys work? I'm big on Hypo Puzzle, but obviously I do a lot of other stuff. Hypo Clown, what else? Hypopide, Ultramel, a lot of that stuff. What about you guys?
I'm digging all the hypo stuff.
Go right around the clock. Start with me.
I don't breed ball pythons.
Nathan keeps ball pythons.
I just
keeps them.
Yeah, I just feed them.
He's a hoarder.
Keep them clean the poop.
One word. That's all you need.
Yeah, I basically work with the bang gene. And then obviously other genes around that, but that is my main focus.
Do you have it under any recessive? Do you have like bang het, other stuff?
Everything I have a puzzle, maybe, right?
Yeah, visual. I het puzzle. I don't have.
Do you have bang het puzzle?
Yeah, I have a bang het puzzle. I have a bang double het puzzle clown.
Damn.
I'm trying to think. You don't think there's a recessive missing, right?
What's that?
You don't think there's a recessive or missing other than like G stripe?
Who needs it?
Like that's
maybe with the clown, maybe.
Pretty much just tapping.
Yeah, only a Kiki.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I have at least half of pretty much everything.
Nice.
So, and then some stuff like visuals. You know what I mean? Obviously, clowns, pies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm a big hypo clown guy. Hypo kind of stuff. Ultramel. I work a lot of mahogany, blackhead stuff. Black pastels were my favorite genes. So it's like everything surrounding all that with the hypos and the clowns and the black pastel, pides, and whatever. Bang. I have some bang stuff now, introducing it into all this kind of stuff. So that's pretty much my main focuses this year. We're going for some of that, what they're calling black matter now. I don't know why it's matter because it doesn't have champagne in it, but it's super blackhead, super black pastel stuff. Like,
is that what the black matter is?
That's what they're calling it.
That's dumb. They would have to have champagne in it to be called.
That's yeah.
It's Chris Hernan.
We started on the gray matters. We were probably, I think we were the second people in the world ever really start hitting the gray matters hard. And then, like I said, the matters were that, and then they changed.
They started mattering.
They started saying, "Oh, matter, it's super." I think they thought it had champagne in it at first, but it didn't.
Oh, okay.
I think that. I mean, I don't know how it became about, but they called them the black matters, like the super black, black pastel and all that shit. Trying to get to like the most dark snakes. And I'm doing the same thing with the sumas, introducing now the blackheads and the black pastels into the sumas.
It's like pandas without the issues.
Right,
Dude,
right.
Yep.
I'm not even worried about making them pied. I just want jet black ball pythons. Like,
has anybody made a panda or Oreo or whatever fucking abyss or whatever? Has anyone made that in hypo and pied?
I don't know.
I don't think hypo yet.
Blue and white snake, basically.
So sick, right?
Like a frosted, frosted and white. Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
sure.
My definition of blue.
Yes. As blue as you can get a ball python. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I don't know anybody who's really talking much about like going that hypo pie direction with that stuff. They just want to make the black and white pie, as far as I've heard. But I think the black and white hypo pie is going to be insane.
Pip Stalker's got some of that hypo black stuff. I'm sure Justin's got some of his shelves.
My goal is to try to get genetics into one snake and then flip it over into pied or clown. Like so, we make a pretty damn near almost black freaking clown this year. So I'm going to see how dark we make it, and then separate it with the hypos. See if they do turn blue, and like whatever's going to happen there. Because I try to work the project like I have heck clown and this stuff, but it's so hard to get all them genetics into one freaking snake and move it forward without the other genetics attached to it, unless we have both sides of them.
Yeah,
sure.
All right.
And then I got the bang gene too, like bang head clown. I'm doing hypo clown stuff. Yeah, I'm doing hypo clown stuff. Trugos, DG hypo. I got I got heads for Trugos clown, so I work that. And then I have hopefully they get up to size, but I got the Holy Grail heads. I got pied double heads. So, and then Barons.
What is the deal with DG hypo? Just like
I like it.
Well, I know, but what is the deal with the value? Like Fireball just started selling DG hypos for fucking nothing, like female combos.
He did it with the clown, DG clown too.
Yeah, DG clown too. But I never had even seen a DG hypo, so I bought one just so I could see one in person. And then it was like a month later, he was selling like the same DG hypo double codoms for like $500. I was like, what the hell? Is it just because he has so many?
Yep.
Pretty much. Like he's been doing it so long with that stuff. His racks were just filled to the brim. Knows how much he's actually of it.
He just cashed in on it.
He just cashed it, like you said. He just cashed in.
Pastel one.
Guess he thought the world was falling and cashed in.
Pastel DG hypo.
Okay, and that one is
DG hypo.
Oh, okay.
Kind of looks.
They're both pastel, aren't they?
Look at her.
They look similar.
Yeah, look at her. Well,
that looks so much. Well, that's got pastel in it though.
Yeah,
so that looks so much different than my DG hypo.
Yeah, that's wild.
You only have one.
Unfortunately, Chris sold the nicest one he ever made.
Yes, he did.
And then
that happens.
And then I had to inform him that it was het pied.
Oh man.
After
I have this
leopard, and
that's what mine looks like.
Froze.
DG hypo pet clown.
Oh.
Your Wi-Fi is all fucked up.
Told him his camera's like fucked up.
The thing that kind of took me by surprise was that I didn't see a lot of double visual DG hypo stuff. Like I'd see like, I don't know, 15 a year or something like that. And then all of a sudden, once I bought one, it was like everybody has double visuals with 3 codoms. And I was like, holy shit, like why the hell did I buy this DG hypo male? That's not doing me any good.
No,
it was like
trying to get my light on.
I'm surprised at how hard DG hypo was worked. Like you said, so many popped up over the last couple of years.
What's that one, Chris?
Black Magic DG head hypo.
Okay, it's badass.
Yeah, he's pretty. And then I have a big leopard girl. I have a leopard girl. She's triple head.
But I noticed that nobody yet has been like, DG is my big thing.
Not the main focus, nah. It's always on the side, mixed in with something. Definitely.
I dropped a ton of my DG this year.
A lot of people have, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna start. I got a couple of things I was definitely still want to see for like the DG clown stuff I have. Like I put in my mind.
For sure. What about you, Jeremy?
My main focus is Exantic. Exantic clowns. We've got actually should be having a bang double head Exantic clown clutch hopefully dropping here in 2 weeks.
Nice.
Yeah, doing the bang stuff, Exantic clown, pied, DG, Exantic DG stuff. Hopefully we can get a clutch of those this year. Yeah, that's kind of the big focus. I mean, there is some hypo stuff too. I think I did throw the bang to the GHI Mojave hypo, that clown. So some really cool stuff. It's just hitting odds and seeing how everything goes.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bang lace.
The bang, yeah, bang lace.
That's Bang Lace?
Yeah.
Shit. Oh yeah, I see it now. Oh yeah,
Well,
I see it.
It's a weird
yeah.
defective. It's a weird defective version of it.
Yeah, it's fake. It's fake.
It's
That
fake
thing
lace.
is
Emu.
crazy.
Isn't that
lace,
bright?
the lace escalates that bang like 5 times, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Or do bangs just look that good sometimes?
Bangs can look that good sometimes. Like
Yeah.
Nate has a bang lace is just like freaking next level. That thing's freaking. It's looking good, Chris. It's aging
The
well.
orange
Dude,
looks
his
good on
is-
that thing.
His is het clown.
Yeah,
So
it's like
that's part of why his is.
That's part of it. Yeah.
Because
it's like
mine's het.
it's a different orange. It's weird.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have a het hypo and a het pied, and the oranges are totally different in them.
Yep.
So you do bang too, Chris?
I got a little bit. Yep. Just have a couple babies on the ground that I'm working with.
Here's Dad.
What else do you do?
The hypo clown I'm pretty heavily invested in. I produced some hypo clown chocolate enchi stuff last year, and that male's up to size breed and all my double hets and some of my other things I had growing up. Hypo pied I like. And then just a few odds and ends. Trojan, I'm working on that. Pretty not heavy, but I'm making some heads and stuff. And I got a lot of double head and triple heads and a few quad heads growing up. Just stuff that I make, over the years. Some Kiki Clown, hypo stuff, some Ultra Melpide stuff. Do have a little bit of cryptic. And then just locality boas. I got blood pythons, and then like 5 or 6 subspecies of pines, and then the bulls. I got some scrubs, Argentine boas, so a little bit of everything. I just try to breed something new each year, just something different, a different species at least once a year. And I got Womas growing up. Little odds and ends.
Here's the question.
Whatever catches my interest.
So here's a question I wanted to ask you guys all, but specifically Chris. What's your last name, Chris? S.
Shelly.
Soldentino.
Wait, which one we got? Shelly or Soldentino?
Shelly, there we go. Is how detrimental do you guys think this recessive stacking is to the ball python hobby? Because we're all chasing these double, triple, quad recessives, and there's so much fucking byproduct that we're just pumping out that we don't want, we don't need, got no use for it. And it's like we're like shitting where we eat a little bit. I mean, sorry to say it. I don't know if anybody else is going to say it as bluntly as that. But that's exactly what it is. You breed a triple het to a triple het. You got, what is it, 1 in 64 or 126? Fucking long odd.
64.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Already hard
sorry.
enough.
Quad is one. Yeah. So
that's already hard enough, and a lot of people, what they're doing is they're stacking these quads, and they're only doing it with maybe a gene or no genes. They're going to go these normals or Mojaves or black pastels, or maybe even a combo of black pastel pastel or pewter or everything, yellow belly. So what you're getting, like you said, is just single gene, double gene. To me, and I hate to say it, I'm garbage. Males especially, because you're going to wait for the visual male before you start even breeding them. So now what does this do? These all go into wholesale snaking. It's also, this is the double-edged sword to that, in my opinion. And all these guys are chasing it. So if you're not doing some of that stuff, you might be the guy, literally, that's making some of the stuff that people still really need or want. So literally, they're canceling each other out, a lot of the guys doing it. So they're going to have, their morph market is going to be loaded with 100 snakes of triple head, nothing, whatever. And then maybe if somebody does want the matter thing we were talking about or whatever else there is, then take the crazy genes and then throw them back into the triples or not. Like say, take a bang gene or take this other gene and start stacking it with quality genes and then go for your heads or double heads or triple heads or whatever you're going to do. That's my fly. I reverse, but I do it the other way. I try to make the genes and then I'll start playing with the heads and start put them in and start putting them into pies and whatever.
So the reason I ask this though is also with like a colubrid mentality where everything is recessive. So like where I'm sitting in a ball python pilot position, being like, fuck, shit's getting crazy. This is so fucking ridiculous. I don't understand. But going back to my colubrid mind, like, this is how corn snakes are. Like, corn snakes are, I can make a quintuple visual tomorrow, and it's not and it might be triple het for something else, and the value is not much different. But there is a lot of value placed on how good it looks, which I think is important, and I think will continue to be important for ball pythons. So, like, I know a lot of you guys do have some insight with colubrids as well. So, like, what do you think the future really holds? Like, it seems like they're just kind of two different worlds where never the two shall meet right now, but in 5 years, it's going to be like snakes, isn't it?
Well, hopefully, they'll offer shed testing for the colubrids, and maybe you'll be able to cash out on them heads.
Well, there's not really ever a cash out, though, Chris. What he means, like, it's like this has been this way with the colubrids forever. Like as long as I can think back, like
they're dime a dozen.
There's so many things, and like some of this stuff definitely adds a little bit of value, but you don't see $5,000 corn snakes.
No.
You don't
colubrids of any kind,
right? Right? They're not $5,000 snakes or $3,000 or all these
or 30
pythons are or 30.
Now, hey guys, not to cut you short, I got to duck out of here. But awesome talking, Joel. We'll talk probably tomorrow.
Absolutely.
I'll see you tomorrow, man.
Yep. See you guys
later.
See you, Nate.
Bye, Nathan.
Good night. Good night, Bang Daddy.
Joel, I definitely think you're on to something with that because, like I said, if watching leaving like DG visual, you say a couple $100, you can get a DG mail right now for like $70. For like $250. It's like it's nuts.
That is nuts.
5 years from now, where is it? Okay, now you got DG Clown. They went from X amount to X amount, and in a couple of years, they're gonna be $500 still. So if you start mashing all this stuff together in a couple of years, like I said, they got the hype, they got this, all the hets aren't even mattering now. Like people are just like, whatever, like it's het. Especially if it's a male, they're just throwing them away, putting them in the $20 bin. Unless they're super stacked with a genetic you can't get.
Yeah.
Something that's like way out there, like super blackhead clown. Oh, heck ghost. Now that's a killer male. But just a super blackhead, double head clown pod or something's like, I can do better. I'll wait for the visual, right? Like,
we're like, I wish I wasn't het pied actually.
Yeah, or you're right. Then it cancels going that way. Freaking right.
Yeah,
you're getting a lot of cancel shit. So yeah, I definitely think you're.
I just wonder. I'm just asking you guys, kind of how, or is it always that ball pythons have new shit coming in, like Stranger?
It doesn't,
or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, will there always just be something else you can add that it'll never matter kind of thing? But
I feel like the possibilities are endless.
There are definitely
for sure
combos, but again, when do we switch our brains back to let's start making crazy combo, double heads or single visuals, all the kinds of shit? Where would people switch their head back to that and be like, oh, dude, the super blackhead DG,
this looks good.
But to get there, like I said, these people are stacking like all these quads. Like, oh man, that'd be great in quad, but they have a normal, or maybe it's just a blackhead, or maybe it's just a Mojave, or whatever. And then, like I said, that road's long as shit too. Like now you got a normal, now you got to get all them genes back into that on top of that normal. So now you're like really handcuffed.
You're revert. Like the way I'm trying to approach everything is I'm trying to get genetics mixed in as I'm building everything.
Right.
Because once you, I think a lot of the people that are moaning and groaning that the market's dead, this and that, are probably the people that are chasing the triples and the quads.
It's definitely
and they're making, I hate to say it, but in the matter of speaking, they're making junk snakes at the end of the day when they're not hitting this stuff.
Right.
Definitely. Like he was showing.
As long as you don't hit the odds, it's junk. Unfortunately,
that one girl, that black pastel puzzle, and he was like, "Oh man, it was a girl." Yes, being a male right now would kill it. But that girl now has a black pastel gene that he could turn around and then take. Just say he finds some gene that it's just outrageous. The world's like loving it. He can inject it right in that snake, and now he has the black pastel puzzle head glove. He's got the pinnacle because that girl now holds that power on the other end with a gene.
In 1 year,
normal puzzle hugbo, still awesome, still powerful, man. But now he's a black pastel gene. He can just jam like a freaking insane male into.
Mm-hmm.
So you girls are, like I said, you girls are important with them jeans on the backside. Males, they're just heads and shit. Eventually, it just becomes, I can get better. I can get better.
Yeah.
You got the best, and then you're not saying that anymore. But
and hoping it gets back to quality. You know.
Oh, quality. And again, like you said, when do we start talking about what these things
quality?
Look like? I've been saying it for 3 years now. People just go, "Oh, puzzle gene." They buy one, and it's not even a puzzle. It's like, God damn, dude.
Like low expression, or looks like a leopard.
Pull one out that he just showed me too, and it's like, oh, that's a puzzle, man. Like that's connecting pattern. That's everything. People just hear what they hear, and they're like, "Oh, I'm buying it because it said it." You're screwed after that, though. And how many people have you noted? But like, oh shit, man, that was like the worst quality looking of that he just bought.
Yeah,
for that sucker.
So how much importance do you think that codoms will have? Like I've heard I'll give Will Morris full credit, being like, we're gonna get to the end of the recessive thing, and we're gonna just all work that to the end, and then we're gonna be back to codom, especially with shed testing. Codoms are now the same as recessives.
Pretty much.
So
it's got to go to supers.
Right, we're gonna get back to where a good-looking snake is the most important thing, not a fucking DJ's puzzle.
Codoms make the world go round, right? The codoms are what actually going to sell the snake. Because a clown right now, what's a clown male worth? $25. Clown female $100.
I'm really that low?
Oh yeah.
I think clown male last I saw was like $35.
$20, straight up.
No wonder men aren't selling shit. Okay.
And I'm not talking about like a single gene. I'm just talking about single gene stuff, and we're talking about single gene ghost male, $25. Female, $40. So basically, but you put black pastel on that, it's back up to $150 animal, $200 animal by itself. Now you put black pastel acid.
Cypress.
Yes, whatever, cypress. Now you just jumped yourself into.
How about redhead, motherfucker?
Redhead. Now they're the more.
I like redhead.
Red stripe.
I always talk about these jeans and tiers. Like you have the beginning jeans, or pastels, or Mojaves that are your lower end jeans. Mid tier,
it will drop more.
Jeans, your Bangs, your freaking Cosmos, or whatever hell all these jeans are out there.
Malice.
And again, it's just like anything else. The rarer a snake is, the less that are rare. That's where the price point's always going to go. As soon as it's commonplace and you walk into a show and there's 45 freaking single gene clowns and tables, now it's just I got $45 in my pocket. I picked that guy.
Yeah.
That one looks like it ate a little bit more than that guy, so I'm going to buy his for 45, and that's what it becomes. But if you have a snake that nobody has, kind of like you're messing with them pyros, and if you're the only guy in town with that shit, they're going to floodgate to your table. They're going to be like, holy shit, dude, I don't see this stuff. The ball playing game's still the same way. You bring like I said, you bring a black pastel puzzle hypo to a show, and it's actually a first sale snake.
Yeah.
Finally hitting the market, and it's a reasonable price for somebody. If people fucking flood your table, and they're going to be like, yeah, you got 5 of them, dude? I want them. Nobody's seen them. So I think the game's always going to be that way with the ball pythons. It's like, what have you done for me lately shit? What looks cool, and what's everybody saying about it, and who else thinks it's cool? And as soon as like everybody else thinks it's cool, it just sells.
Yeah. You got to have a bandwagon going on.
You got to have the bandwagon. You got like Pompeii, man. They were like, oh, Pompeii. Snake in America, right?
Everybody wanted to make one of them.
Dude, but think about a Pompeii. What can you do with a Pompeii? Nothing.
Super black look at it.
You
like,
can't.
All the supers you can make with a Pompeii aren't any good.
Well, you can't do, like I said, we ran into this. I made Pompeii here. Long story short, I made it, and I was like, oh my God.
He pointed that out to me.
What's up?
I'm giving you your credit for that. What can you do with Pompeii?
Me?
Oh,
you're on your phone, dog.
Oh, yeah.
Because
of him. That's because of him.
It was my speech.
The credit goes back to John.
Sorry. Okay, go on.
Yeah, I'll steal it.
Chris looked at me and he's like, bro, how are you going to sell that snake? It took you fucking 7 or 8 years to make. And I'm sitting there, I went, here's the deal. What I made with that snake is on my rack. I said I got black pastel clowns, I got spot nose clowns, I got spot nose red stripe clowns, I got this clowns, I got all. And I said, when I take a Pompeii, what do I put it back to? Because that's what all my clowns are. I said I can't make a super, right? Because now you got black snakes. Super red stripe's cool and all, but it kind of takes away from it if it's too much. Super spot nose, I ain't even fucking with because they're wild. Like I'm not a Powerball guy.
I'm looking at his morph market.
And yellow belly.
You.
Yeah, and
Oh,
yellow
Reep?
belly. We already know what yellow belly does. We make them white snakes. So what the fuck
Yep.
is with this Pompeii too? I'm done. If I had a black pastel, what's it called? Like a pastel hypo. I couldn't make a black pastel hypo fucking Pompeii because I'd have a super. I'd have fucking spot nose underneath that bitch, red stripe, yellow belly. I'd be like, oh fuck, right? Be a powerful animal with shit underneath it, but it'd be a super. Now I'm running risk,
Sure.
all that kind of shit. But you were 100% correct, and that is the most talked about snake for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
There will be another Pompeii. Something else will get a crazy ass name like a Kraken or some other bullshit.
Yeah, like that fucking snake's cool, man.
What's that?
Joel's.
It is cool.
Cool. You know what I mean? For what
Oh,
it
yeah.
is, that's a cool fucking snake.
Oh, and dude, Cinnamon's the most underrated fucking gene in the ball python game in clown.
Cinnamon clown is fucking awesome.
I'm saying it right now.
For what genes are in that, like simple genes, that's a cool fucking snake.
You pull up any black, and I'm a black pastel guy, and I got some cinnamon clowns, but you pull up black pastel clown, you pull up cinnamon clown, I'm guarantee you every combo in clown with cinnamon is better looking than black pastel. And I'm a black pastel fucking guy.
I was looking for that black pastel hypo puzzle
for me to say because half my shit is black pastel. Dude, I've been looking at them cinnamon clown combos, even like that. I'm like, ooh, that's clean. That's slick.
Yeah, I would have thought bamboo was in that.
Yeah,
it does. It does look like it looks just like the one.
It looks pretty light.
Red stripe thing I got, clown.
Yeah.
Just like
so I made that black pastel hypo puzzle, and do you guys know who Windy City Morphs is?
Oh, I know Juan well.
Yeah, dude, he's fucking killing it. But he was like, he bought a black pastel hypo het puzzle female for me. And he's like, hey, would you sell that double visual? And I was like, never in a million years. And he's like, he's like, well, I would trade you my pastel GHI yellow belly hypo puzzle female. I was like, shit, this GHI. You're talking my language. I was like,
man, holy shit.
I didn't know who the fuck I was talking to.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, shit. I was like, is it a male? And he's like, nah, it's a female. I was like, fuck. Okay. I know. All right. Respect.
One straight up.
It's a badass
snake. Been a tough decision.
Minus the pastel, I would have gone for it for sure. But, I mean, I like pastel in puzzle, but I don't like it in... I have a pastel hypo puzzle male. I'd rather it didn't have pastel, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you're not happy with it, don't do it.
Yeah, that question he's asking with the Pompeii, the unique and all. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I said, if you had a Pompeii male and you had something like mahogany clown female or something, that might be a kick-ass snake to take it to. I was talking about for my personal collection, for a male for me to hold that. I already had the spot nose red stripe yellow belly, which made it. Which is only missing the black pastel to take through all the snakes I got so I can make more Pompeis, make mahogany Pompeis, chocolate Pompeis. I can still do all that kind of shit. So for me personally as a breeder, it didn't make sense for me to keep a male Pompeii. Now I did keep my female Pompeii because she's head ghost.
Yeah.
So that's 100% totally makes sense. I could put stranger in it. I could do all kinds of shit. I was just talking about where do you go after a breeder makes a Pompeii when it's only one extra gene of what they already had. For me personally, it was a no-brainer for me to sell it.
You have a female Pompeii het hypo?
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I just made her this year.
Damn.
Ugh, I had to pee.
Beautiful.
Yeah, thanks.
That's fucking.
I don't want to get caught on camera like Danny.
I'll show her.
I don't want that. No good.
That is crazy. Holy shit. Wow. What do you guys think about Ultramel in puzzle?
I love how it looks.
Yeah.
I'm making some double hats this year.
Mm-hmm. I have some double heads I just made. Oh my god. That's
yeah,
het
I'm
hypo?
I love that flaring. Oh.
That's het hypo?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Who
has the power to silence this man?
I made a mahogany.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
That's fucking sweet.
Weren't you just saying what do you do with a Pompeii?
Well, it's a girl.
Oh.
This is an head hypo. That's a little different. Like if the male was head hypo, we'd have figured some shit out.
That one's got a long, long life.
You would figure some shit out. You get some stranger involved. Like you say, mahogany. A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Redhead.
Redhead.
I don't have redhead in any clown. I'm simping so hard for it.
These are all female. So I just kept them all.
You got redhead, Chris?
Yeah. Redhead head hypo stuff. I produced a redhead hypo lesser, but it didn't make it.
What is the one in your right hand?
So this one is with the black pastel, the Mojave. This one is just Mojave with the red stripe yellow belly, I believe.
Dude, that's bad. I
That's
like
right.
that one better.
Spot nose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's spot nose.
This one's everything.
Really enhance that yellow too.
Yeah, that shit's awesome. And the red, like the reddish color.
Yeah, it's like a really funky mauvey color. So the Mojave, I was like, oh man, I've got Mojave in it. But then when they came out, I'm like, oh, dude, they look pretty cool, Mojave.
That ain't bad.
Damn. That's sick.
All right, guys. Well, it is getting late. It's 11:30. John's got to get his ass up.
I got to drop my car off.
My phone is 7%.
Oh, shit.
Everybody's like, I got a million reasons.
My bedtime's 1 a.m., Jeremy. I'm good.
What's that?
My bedtime's 1 a.m.
Let's hang out.
Yeah, dude. If I fall asleep before a freaking 12:31, I'm fucked.
Jeez,
I'll be up at 3:30 in the morning. Dude, I've worked third shift for fucking literally 15 years. I wake up.
Dude, he has to think about Pompeii combos all night long.
With
Can
hypo.
you imagine? Black pastel, red stripe, yellow belly. What can I do? Clown.
I want to put in a fucking puzzle now. Yeah, you got to be all fucked up showing me that puzzle.
Yeah.
Pompeii puzzle, baby.
Have to trade for some puzzle.
Pompeii cryptics.
It helps me with puzzle. I saw Puzzle Clown so far. I'm not impressed with Puzzle Clown.
Nah.
By itself, I am. I think that would be sick with like Krypton or something, like Cryptic.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't wait to see Cryptic and Puzzle because Cryptic goes this way, Puzzle goes this way. What the fuck's that going to do?
Jeremy, I'm just
gonna make a weirdo.
The face you're making right now, you're like, anyway.
I'm taking into what John's saying about the directions and shit.
You're like,
I'm with you, John. I'm with you.
You've ended a show yesterday. Your voice is gone. You're good.
My voice is getting
So
it actually doing better tonight than it did yesterday.
Could you imagine that snake with fucking Puzzle on top with the Krypton?
She's mean too.
I was gonna say she looks like she's mean as fuck, John.
Yeah, as I say, she was hissing.
Just trying to get the hell out.
She's kind of wiry.
She muted you.
Is that black pastel?
She muted you.
I think it's black.
I can't even unmute him.
Yeah, the snake muted it.
So she's a Krypton black pastel yellow belly ultra.
Okay,
I think it's cool.
That's
Like
a badass looking snake.
With Puzzle?
Like,
Oh,
Puzzle
hell
on
yeah.
top, like what would that do with Puzzle on top of like with the Krypton
She had
or Cryptic? I mean,
she had for anything?
no, she's just
I don't think anyone's
Krypton.
No one's made a cryptic puzzle yet that I know of.
Nah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Which
Alexa's giving me a freaking lesson.
Oh, damn, she's a squirter.
Money
Water
shot.
sports. Yeah, girl.
You got a squirter.
Yeah.
You squirted the dead camera, dude. Like
Damn. People probably tuned out and missed it.
we are so lucky Jeremy wasn't able to end it 3 minutes ago.
That was worth it in gold.
Dude.
Let's
Poor
go.
fucking Nate missed that.
John's like, I'm gonna be so dead tomorrow.
All right, on that note,
That's the smell of money.
You didn't get me. That was fucking amazing, and it wasn't that bad. It just hit the camera perfect. It was like,
it looked bad.
I thought
she squirted once,
fucking
man.
money shot.
I put her down the table, and she's like, one little tiny squirt left. I threw her in her fucking bin. Fucking bitch. God,
that was great.
That was
great.
funny. That's a good way to end it. That's a good way to end it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Joel, I do want to thank you, man, for coming on. I can't believe we've went like God, what 3.5 hours?
Yeah, go backstage next time. Hang out. Last time you just dipped out. We were like, where'd Joel go?
Oh yeah. When
your parents' racers?
You're gonna hang out and stuff. I'm probably gonna dip out right away though. But I mean, you guys can sit back and bullshit all you want because
yeah, I'm not.
You can do whatever.
I gotta drop my car off.
Damn snake.
Yeah, John's
Joel,
gotta
thank
take
you
a
again,
bath.
man, for coming on tonight. I do
Yes, thank you, Joel.
Yeah.
Definitely be in touch.
Everybody, next Sunday is Jessica from Hair Hollow. Apparently, we're talking rats from what Chris is telling us.
Feeders, how important feeders are for your collection. That's what we're going to be talking about. But who knows where it'll go from there. But I want to focus on that.
I say so. We've got a main focus, and Chris is going to keep us on point. Hopefully, you guys all know how.
I'm digging it. I'm digging
It's
it.
tough.
We take a lot of squirrel moments. Yeah, you got to watch out for Pancho Sorrentino here.
Telling him, man, he needs to lean on them lines, Poncho.
Pancho.
Batteries at 5%.
Everybody's gonna be hearing about ponchos in 10 years. Like, man, where'd that come from?
Oh, Pancho.
Oh man! But everybody, I greatly appreciate everybody tuning in, watching. We still got 12 people here watching right now, so I do thank all 12 of you for sticking around. We had some really high numbers tonight too, so we had a great night. Do appreciate everybody's love and support. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. This week's video, I have no freaking idea what I'm going to give you. I might show off the carpet that came back, for which I've been messaged several times with people trying to pry her out of my hands already, and it ain't happening, folks. I'm telling you that much now. Might show her off, and I might show off the spawn of Satan that's coming here this week as well.
Might sell it.
The gelatin male does get shipped out this week.
The jalopy.
Apparently he's a lunatic, so I don't know. I want to, put him through that shit right off the bat, or not. So I might want to try to calm him down just a little bit, because Nick told me, Nick called me and said, he goes, just so you know, this one is like a lunatic. It's the spawn of Satan. It's like, it would not sit still for an updated photo. He said it just wasn't happening. So we'll see. We'll see what it actually does end up, or how he acts when he gets here. So yeah, no idea what this week's video is going to be on, folks. But next Sunday, Jessica. So make sure you guys are here. Again, greatly appreciate all love and support, everybody. Have an awesome rest of the week. Stay warm, because here in PA, it is warming up a little bit.
Yes.
Get those snakes shipped, folks. Get those snakes shipped. And that's going to be it, guys. Catch you next week. Later.
Good night, everybody.